10 days ago, in an unassuming pool bar in Coventry, two rival universities locked horns for the 26th time. What followed was one of the most ferocious, hard-fought and exciting sporting contests in either's history. 10 days on, and what followed is the finale of Varsity 2016. This is the Ricoh Arena. This is Varsity Rugby. The road to Ricoh reaches its end at the crowning jewel of Coventry. The stadium plays host to the Wasps and houses over 30,000 people at full capacity. The attendance today will be closer to 3,000, but the atmosphere will be hair-raising as fans of both unis cheer their sides on. Not since the 2012 competition have we seen the Ricoh feature as a venue. Then it was men's football, and now it is men's rugby. And I am your host and head of sport, Tim Arstle, and I'm very pleased to say that I'm joined here at the Ricoh Arena by Megan Tranter from Warwick Women's Netball and also an avid rugby fan. We have George Sharp from the men's second team for rugby, and also Rob Starman, who will be providing co-commentary on the broadcast today. And starting with you, Megan, we've got to talk about the spectacle of this. We love to talk about it at Varsity, and what an absolute privilege to be at a venue like this. Are you excited for Varsity?
I'm really excited. It's a fantastic stadium. I bet the guys will be really, really pleased to play here. It's an amazing ground.
Absolutely, and George, as a member of the second team yourself, I'm sure you'll appreciate what's going through the mind of the guys right now. This is probably the biggest game of their lives in an arena like this. What do you think they'll be thinking?
Oh, well, these guys have been preparing for this for weeks on end. So it's going to be the biggest game for most of them that they've ever played and probably will ever play. So it's going to be something very exciting for all of them. Absolutely.
And Rob, how are you doing? I know you're a Harlequins fan yourself. So we have the precedent for this game is actually a rugby game itself. It's a game that Wasps are playing in. So do you think it's really great to have an atmosphere like this before a Varsity game?
Yeah, it is. I mean, Quins are getting a pounding at the moment. I think Wasps are about to score a fifth try. We're 28-10 down. So it hasn't been great. But yeah, fantastic way to do it. You've got loads of people in for a high-quality Premiership game and then follow it straight up with some hopefully equally high-quality university rugby.
Absolutely, and talking about an overview of Varsity now, Megan, it's been a bit of a disappointing one for Warwick in a lot of areas. Earlier in the day we had men's football going down to a 3-0 defeat, the men's first, despite having thrashed Cov 6-1 before. You obviously were part of the netball team last year that won so prolifically. They didn't win this year, so looking at Varsity as a whole now, and today is finale day, do you think it's been a bit disappointing for Warwick, or is it good that we have won it?
I think it has in some cases, but especially in netball, it always goes either way each year, and the girls played fantastically. It's just Coventry had the stronger team. I mean, I didn't watch the football, I'm not sure, I can't really comment on that, but it's nice to have a closer competition rather than thrashing them each time. I think it makes it a little bit more exciting if it comes down to the wire.
And George, with the score standing now at 40-30, we believe, latest, do you think that will be at the back of the boys' mind, the fact that the game or the Varsity is won for Warwick, so maybe is that a bit of less pressure on them so they can really go out there on the Ricoh pitch and just enjoy themselves and play their hearts out?
Oh, not at all. No, I think these boys are going to give absolutely everything they can. Like without a doubt, like Varsity is won. We suspected that we would have won Varsity by the time we came out on the Ricoh, but also we've got to remember that this is also a Bucks game for the ones as well, because that Coventry and Warwick are in the same league. They've won. Warwick have won earlier this season, and it's also an opportunity to really put some points on the board. And also Warwick are pushing for promotion this season as well. So it'll be wonderful if we could really go out there and absolutely put a proper message to everyone else in the league as well for the end of the season.
Yeah, and your prediction for today, Rob, do you think it'll be a Warwick victory? And just to maybe, would you agree with George there? Do you think that they'll be really desperate to be out there and be passionate, even though the Varsity is one? As we can hear, the fans really getting loud now in the Wasps game, as I think Wasps have scored another try. I hope you're not too upset right now, Rob. I know it must be a tough time for you.
Yeah,
but
I'm coping. Last year we lost it 42-6.
Oh dear.
It was a bit of a, but no, hopefully I'll be happy when Warwick win. I expect us to win. And so George said, had a pretty good season so far, looking to go up. And I expect to really turn up today, win those physical battles, and ultimately come out on top.
Yeah, and maybe 42-6, not a bad prediction for today. Do you think it's going to be a big win for Warwick?
I don't know. I don't think it'll be quite that emphatic, but I expect them to win by a margin of around 7 to 10 points.
Yeah. And Megan, maybe looking at Varsity as an overview now, you were covering the netball and basketball yesterday. Or in fact, I think that was 2 days ago now.
Yeah.
I forget my days. Well, there you go. It was a very busy day yesterday. So do any particular fixtures stand out? We've been actually quite unlucky on our live broadcasts. We haven't seen a single win yet. So we're hoping to see one today. But has anything that you've seen so far stood out really? Because the clubs really support each other on these games.
I think that's the biggest thing. I know from last year and this year as well, everyone turns up to support everyone else. You can see out in the stadium at the moment, you've got football, hockey, rugby, even rowing have turned up to something.
Even rowing.
So, yeah, I think that is the biggest thing for Varsity. That's what meant a lot to me last year, was having that amount of support. Loads of fixtures. Everyone's posting each other's events. Everyone's turning up to them. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and do we have some of the naked rowers then here, the celebrities in tow, or are they a bit busy at the moment?
Some of the female naked rowers are here. The male ones are actually rowing at the moment, so they couldn't make it.
Well, yeah. That's a shame to see. And as well, we should talk about Varsity this year, George, because what do you make of the changes made to the competition to only include first team fixtures? Do you think that has made definitely an impact on Warwick? It's been a lot closer this year. Do you think that's been a good decision, or do you think it's one that maybe has taken away the experience of playing in a Varsity game for some of the second and third teams?
Well, I would say last year I was playing in the third 15 and this year I'm playing in the second 15, so I was looking forward to hopefully playing in the Varsity game this year, but obviously that didn't happen as it was just first team. But I think that it is an opportunity for the elite sports people in the university to really show what they've got, to really compete on a top level with other top sportsmen. So I think that it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I think it would be nice for more people to be involved, but as Varsity is essentially competing at the top level that every university has, then it is nice. It is nice that it's just the top level teams that be able to compete against each other and really just show what they've got, and it's not really involved for the lower teams. So, yeah.
Yeah, and your thoughts on that, Rob, as a member of men's cricket, I believe, or you're quite entrenched in the club. Is that a view the boys share down there, or do you think it's maybe a good thing that only the first get a run around?
Well, I mean, particularly this year, our varsity cricket was a bit of a farce.
Yeah,
for a start, it's indoor cricket, which isn't really proper cricket. And then secondly, this year they moved it from Desso Hall on Warwick campus to Coventry Sports Hall, so no one could go. So it was literally 12 guys in the sports hall playing cricket, no one there, and so it was a bit of a damp squib. And so it's a shame for both sides. I mean, Coventry are a very good cricket unit. It's probably their best sport, and they've only 6 of them representing them, and none of them could go watch. It's a bit of a shame. I think certainly for indoor cricket it'd be nice if we did have those 3 teams still, because it goes from just 6 people being involved to 18. When we're a club of 80, 90 people, it's not really a valid reflection of kind of the club we are. And likewise with Coventry having such a strong cricket setup, it would have been good to have just a bit more cricket on show for everyone.
Yeah, and I think I'm right in thinking it was a really sensational turnaround for men's cricket last year. It was a real classic comeback in Varsity, I think.
Because we won the first one, then they won the second one, and then they looked like they were going to win the final one. Come down to the decider, and then sort of a late flurry of wickets that they collapsed completely, and we won. And then there were 30-40 people there watching, brilliant atmosphere, fantastic. To this year, we sort of lost a 6-a-side game on Tuesday night that no one really paid any attention to. So that's a bit of a shame. But I agree with George's point there about it really gives these elite sportsmen a chance, and Coventry don't have the same strength and depth as us in some sports, so it does make it a more fair competition. And you get great occasions like this today. Yeah.
And what do you make of it, Megan? Do you think the crowd really can make a difference like that? For example, with women's netball, there's always a really strong showing in the main hall cheering the girls on. Do you think it's really important to try and culture that kind of support for Warwick teams? Yeah,
definitely. We do ones to watch with netball on a Wednesday, and I think it makes a massive difference going along and watching other teams and having them come back and support. I know when the atmosphere is dead, you just don't have the same drive and the same sort of vision to win. You're trying your best, but you're not getting any feedback from the crowd, whereas like at Varsity last year the feedback was fantastic, and that's I think what really drove us on to win.
Yeah, and the current score in Varsity is 40-30 in Warwick's favour, so it's quite a lead that we stretched out. Were you at all nervous, George? Because I know, for example, Alex Roberts, having spent a lot of time around him, the sports officer, certain rumours that he might be, well, not quite on the gallows, but having to maybe hide away and emigrate to the Bahamas or something, because there was a real risk, I think, that Warwick, for the first time, might actually be in danger of losing Varsity. We saw that yesterday, and particularly on the Thursday and the Friday. Do you think this year has been a bit too close, or do you like the fact that it's been closer as opposed to a Warwick whitewash because it adds a bit of gravitas?
Well, it hasn't been as comfortable as the last few years, but I wouldn't recommend Alex Roberts leaves to the Bahamas. No. I think that Warwick have put on as good a show as ever. I think that we have really performed as well as we could. And if you think about it, Varsity is really a chance for our top sportsmen to represent the university in a way that isn't nearly as visible as when they do it for the rest of the season. So I think that although it has been closer, although we may have had a little bit of a scare, we have won it this year. Am I right in thinking? I'm not.
Oh yeah, we've won it.
We have won it this year. Perfect. Okay. But I think that we can all be really proud of Warwick Sports' performance in this Varsity season.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's good to say. And going to an individual now, one individual in the rugby team I know that who's quite a fondly viewed individual is Ted Crowson, your president of Men's First. Disappointed that he missed out on his starting place. He was really holding out for one, wasn't he?
Ted Crowson has been one of the biggest individuals in the rugby club for the last 3 years. He's been the chairman this year and he's done a brilliant job, and he's running for sports officer next year. And I personally think, obviously I'm a member of the rugby club and I've known him quite well for the last 2 years, but I think Ted Crowson is a great bloke and I think he'd do a brilliant job as sports officer. But obviously,
impartially speaking, of course.
Impartially speaking, of course. But yes, Ted Crowson has been playing rugby throughout the season. He hasn't been playing one, so I don't think he'd be too disappointed in missing out on the starting place. There are lots of brilliant rugby players that we have in the squad at the moment. And I think he'd be incredibly proud of the way the entire club has performed this season. And I think he should be very optimistic about the way his campaign is going for sports officer. I think he'd do a brilliant job. Yeah,
well, absolutely. And he's very good at the Wasps wiggle as well, I can confirm. I do have some footage of it that maybe leaked at some point from his Raw Sport appearance.
Yeah, the Wasp wiggle is something we're
I'll tell you what, speaking of Ted Crowson, an individual we do really love, I caught up with him before Varsity to get a sense of what Rugby Union really is like as a club to be president of. By the president of Men's Rugby, Ted Crowson. How are you doing, Ted?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm pretty good. And you looking forward to a very exciting Varsity clash, a Rugby Ricoh Arena Classic?
Well, the boys are very excited for it. I'm sure everyone is. It's the biggest opportunity we've had there ever as a club, say in the 25 years. It's almost there, World Cup final.
Absolutely, and it will be live on Warwick TV on the 28th of February. You can catch that one. But what I've got now for Ted is just a few quick-fire questions to test out how much of a Warwick student he is and kind of get a grounding for what rugby as a club is like. So, for listening, Ted?
I don't know about a Warwick student, but I'll give it a go.
Okay, right, well, fire away then. Name?
Ted Crowson.
Club?
Men's Rugby.
Best thing about your club?
I'd say the camaraderie and socials.
Worst thing about your club?
Our reputation.
Describe your club in one word. You'll have to rush you. It's quick fire.
I can't. I don't know. More on it.
Curiosity or Costa?
Curiosity.
Roots Grocery or Tesco?
Tesco.
Cone or no own?
I'll go for the cone, yeah.
Library or Gallen Grid?
Library.
Humanities or Maths and Stats?
Humanities.
Dirty Duck or Terrace Bar?
Dirty Duck.
Nigel Thrift or Stuart Croft?
Oh, it's got to be Thrifty.
Do you like purple?
I hope so. Well, not really, but I drink it a lot.
Controversial.
Yeah.
Describe pop in one word.
Boisterous.
How do you say this word?
I go for Zananas, but
Shenanigans.
Yeah, it's terrible.
If Coventry was an animal, what animal would it be and why?
I think it'd be a scared little cat.
Who's going to win Varsity?
Of course we are.
What are you going to do when you win Varsity?
I think you'll see a nice little dance from the boys. It's called Rover. It's very well renowned.
A bit of a Warwick Rugby hacker.
Yeah, maybe. It'll strike fear into the opposition, that's for sure.
Fantastic. Ted Crowson, thank you for joining us.
Cheers.
Yes, and thank you, Ted. And what do we make of that, guys? Ted Crowson in that interview comparing Coventry to a scared little cat. Do you think that's a fair comment, maybe?
Well, I don't think they come out here scared of us. Well. I think they wouldn't have the highest expectations. I think that they would be... They would really put every single thing they had at us. I think they would really have a good competition with us. I think we will end up winning, but I don't think they will in any way sort of show any weakness.
Yeah, a bit of a casting vote as well we need around the panel, because I picked up on a very serious issue in that quickfire interview. The restaurant in the second floor of the SU building, how do we think the name of it is pronounced? We'll start with you, Rob.
I'm going to go with Zananas.
You're going to go with Zananas? What do you think, George?
I actually watched the
You
thing
watched
where
it,
they
you
pronounce
had
it
the
correctly, but I must admit, until I saw that, I've always
were-
pronounced it Zananas.
Yeah, it's an educational service that we're providing, and Megan.
We just go eggs and ananas.
Eggs and ananas. Well, we had a great one from Nick Harris, who just spelt it out. It is shananas, I can confirm. But anyway, getting a little sidetracked, so we'll return to the players. And we had an interview with Ted there, not perhaps one of the players most likely to be on a pitch. So we'll move on to the ones that are. And individuals of the club, George, that we should really look out for. You've mentioned Matthew Laratovic, or Lorovic?
Larovic is how I've always pronounced it.
Matt Larovic, he's probably one of the biggest players on the squad. I mean, we have in our research pack described him as a loose head prop, that's his position, and also quite a stocky lad, you can say the least, isn't he?
Yeah, I dare say he is the physically biggest player in the squad. He is the first team captain. He has been an exceptional player this season. He really has stood out and has stepped up as captain. He is going to be one of the players that Warwick are going to turn to if they are sort of backs against the wall. He is going to be the player that if they're going to have to crash short ball in, he's going to be one of the players they're going to look to, just because he is so physically large, and it's going to be hard to take him down. Yeah,
I know for a fact that when we were doing our green screen filming for the players, he was I think a little bit out of shot, so we had to actually move the camera further back to make sure he was in the screen.
I'm not
Hearing
surprised.
roars from the Ricoh now. Again, the atmosphere here is absolutely electric, we should say. But yeah, Matt Larovic saved me.
Larovic.
Difficult name to pronounce, but Matt Larovic, he's definitely the captain as well. So is it a case of psychologically he's one that really gets the boys going and gets them over the line when it really counts?
I'd say Matt Larovic he's going to be a leader on the field today.
Yeah.
He really is going to I think he is going to really step up, because it's the first time in the club's recent history that we've played the Ricoh for the Varsity match. He is going to feel that this game is very personal to him. He is going to be the first captain to step out here to lead the team out into this venue, and it's something that we haven't done for a long time now. And he is going to think that a success or a failure here is going to be very personal for him. So I think he is really going to step up today, along with another few key players as well. They're all going to feel that it's going to be very personal, and as long as lots of the third years as well perform as well, because they're going to feel it's their last varsity match. It's their last real impact on Warwick University, and they're really going to want to sort of make a statement here.
Absolutely, and Rob, you're going to be on co-commentary, so
yeah.
I'm saying there's a few players you might have looked at, and we were talking before about Harry Kennick as well, the fly half. I noticed that he's the only fresher in the team, and he's only 70 kilograms, which I think is something like 12 kilograms less than the next lightest player. So what do you make of the potential impact he could have in the game?
Yeah, huge. I mean, fly half is such an important position. He controls the game, and so for freshers to have that responsibility, I mean, he must be a very good player. But he's undoubtedly, I'm expecting Coventry to run down his channel a lot, target his left shoulder in defence, because given he's so much smaller than everyone else, and their fly half's a key player, he'll have a tough job both in defence to contain them, because I'm sure they'll go at him, but also in attack to really get the ball out to the outside backs and let them do some damage. Yeah,
and is there anything tactically you expect to unfold? Do you think Coventry maybe will target the wings or try and play it more centrally and win the physical battle there?
I think a key thing with rugby always, if you do win that physical battle and you get that forward platform, you're in a great position for the rest of the game. So I expect guys like Matt Larovic and Patrick Stuff, some of the big forwards, to really make a statement for the Warwick side, and equally Cov to try and match them, because if you dominate the set piece and you're winning your own ball at ruck time, then from there you've really got control of the game. So I'm sure that the forward battle is going to be crucial.
Yeah, and anything you can tell us about Harry Kernick there, George, including a fresher in the squad, do you think that's something that really speaks bounds about his kind of professionalism and maturity? Or do you think maybe, not wanting to criticise the team or too much, you should go to a more experienced player?
Well, no, there have been lots of standout first years this year that we've had come in. Harry Kernick has been one of the most talented number 10s that we have had in a long time at the club. It's a testament to him, the fact that he is coming out here in the Ricoh Arena in the Varsity match, the fact that he has been starting at 10 before Christmas and has been consistently playing well this entire season. He has earned his place in the squad. It isn't a matter of experience, because if you think about it, the most experience you can gain in this squad, in a university squad, you can only play here for 3-4 years. Harry Koenig has stepped up and he has consistently performed for an entire term, and I'm proud to say that he is starting at 10 for Warwick University today. I can think of no better player to start at 10.
Absolutely, and someone who I'm sure will know a lot about playing in varsity fixtures as a fresher. Megan, last year it was a fresher front line from netball. It was you and Sophie Graham up there, and I think that really paid dividends for netball. You couldn't really argue with it. It was, how many goals did you score between you? It must have been quite a few.
49 between us.
49 between. So it's a small amount. And psychologically speaking, going into that game, was there any pressure on you, do you think, additional, being a fresher, or did the players like Rebecca Tillman, who was captain at the time, just make you feel like welcome in the squad? And was there almost less of an expectation on you, do you think?
Me and Sophie were very nervous beforehand, I think. But we had the girls around us. We knew a lot of people were watching, and actually once we got out there and had the support, we were absolutely fine. I mean, including freshers in the team, I think we forget that people play sport for years before they come to university, and we've played matches before with a massive amount of pressure. So in terms of maturity and stuff, I think both me, Sophie were fine for that match, and I assume that Harry is the same.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you think that you can kind of transfer that to rugby? Is it the case for any sport that if you have a younger player in there, it's more a case of how good they are as an actual performer than actually them being inexperienced?
Yeah, no, completely. And it's also how they fit into the team as well. If the team he's been playing number 10 for over a term, the team are used to that dynamic. It's nothing new, and I think they'll be able to perform really, really well. I'm sure he fits in absolutely fine. Yeah,
and we'll keep it with individuals, because another player I've got to highlight is Chris Orford as well. I know him quite well personally, and I don't want to sort of bring this up or anything, but he's one of the bigger players in the squad, I think, because we've got the statistics for them. He's a strong player. Do you think he could be really crucial, because you really need that kind of level of strength, and quite experienced, isn't he? He's a third year now in the squad, so...
Yeah, Chris Orford's in his third year playing rugby here. This season he has been a consistent performer in the first team squad. He has been playing on both sides of the flank. He's been playing 6 and 7, and he is in a position in his head where this is his last big game for Warwick. This is a position where he can walk out on the Ricoh Arena and leave absolutely everything on the field. You will see him today making tackles. You'll see him today making carries every single opportunity he can. You won't see him standing out. You won't see him. You won't see him standing off doing nothing. Hopefully you'll see him standing out.
Yeah.
But you will see him. He is going to leave everything on the field today. He is. I think this is something that Chris has got in his head, that it's his last real opportunity to make a really big difference for Warwick University Rugby Club, and I think he's going to absolutely take that on the field today.
Absolutely. And finally, one thing I do have to pick up on, we've also done some research as to the courses that your team are on. I noticed there's not many English students on there. There's a smattering of history students. Do you think there is a correlation between course and sports? Do you think it appeals maybe more towards the maths and stats side of things, rugby, or is that a coincidence?
Unfortunately, I haven't looked at the statistics.
You're doing
myself,
an Arsene Wenger on me, are you? You haven't seen the incident.
I haven't seen it, but I must admit I don't know exactly anyone who does English in the rugby club. I'm a maths student myself, so I know there are a few others. I wouldn't say there's a huge correlation. No, I'd say that there's a large variety of courses that we take as a club. It could be that there is no English students in the club this year. it could be an anomaly. It could not be. I'm not sure.
It's not like a conspiracy to keep them out or anything.
Oh,
you're not a fan of the English students.
No, of course not. Of course not. Everyone's welcome to the club. We wouldn't turn anyone down. Everyone down on the reason of course they're studying.
Yeah,
there.
It's just as good a course as maths and economics. I'm sure.
No, obviously not. We're not. Well, as long as you're going to run out on the field, play hard for 80 minutes. We don't care what course you do.
There you go, and I can see that we're getting towards the end of the Welsh Harlequins game now. It's going to be a tough act to follow, and speaking of following, we can now find out about the number of ways that you can get involved in this broadcast and follow the live updates from our media broadcasts.
Keep up to date on the road to Ricoh with WTV and Raw 12:51 AM. Watch selected matches live on the Warwick TV website, as well as on-demand highlights and replay. Raw 12:51 AM will provide commentary for every game broadcast and keep you up to date with all the latest scores throughout the week. This year, for the first time ever, the Warwick TV website and Piazza Big Screen will provide the latest live scores and team data for every game. And get involved with our coverage and keep up with the latest news by tweeting using the hashtag Team Warwick. Don't miss a moment of Varsity with your student TV and radio stations.
Involved in our coverage is Ben, Ted and James, and our reporter on the touchline, Henry Riley, is with them now. We can go to him.
It's all very loud here at the Ricoh Arena because Wasps have just beaten Harlequins, but that is not why people are cheering. People are excited for Warwick versus Coventry later. I'm firstly joined by Ted, who is from he's the chairman apparently of the Warwick third team. Ted, who's going to win today out of Warwick and Coventry?
It's got to be Warwick, hasn't it?
And just a fun fact for you, how many varsities have Coventry won?
0, is it?
I think it's 0. We'll go over to the captain now of the men's third rugby team in James. James, are you excited for this game?
Definitely. I think a lot of people are absolutely buzzed to see Warwick win yet again.
Now, you're a rugby man, James. What would your score prediction be for this sort of game?
It's got to be 20, 30 points in favour for Warwick tonight. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. It'll be a good game.
Definitely. Now, James, do you know any players from the first team that we should possibly look out for today?
Yeah, I think our centres will be very strong. Toby and Harvey, both of them will be fucking hitting hard guys from the centres. I'll look out for them. They'll be strong tonight. Should be a good game.
Right, sorry for the language there. Now I'm joined by Ben. Ben, what's your predictions for this game?
I'm going to go for 32-7 to Warwick. I think being in the same league adds a bit of spice to the fixture this year. I'd look out for the Warwick front row. You've got some big characters there, and I feel like that's where the domination is going to come against Coventry today.
Here we go. It's going to be a Warwick win against Coventry later here on Varsity. I'm sorry for the inappropriate language there, but it's because everyone is so jolly for this upcoming game.
Absolutely. So a great interview there from Henry and great from the boys again there. It's the kind of the spirit in the club, I think. They get a bit carried away with it, but you can understand it out there. And you can see a few of the fans leaving now from the Wasps game, but you think it's still going to be a really great atmosphere, really great showing out there.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere out here. Like, I personally went around selling tickets, and lots of people were really interested in coming to here today. It's the biggest event in the Warwick Sport calendar. It's the end of Varsity. It's a finale. We're all coming to a huge stadium in Coventry. We're all really excited. The team is so up for it today. I think there's going to be no lack of support. But do you know what? I think even if there was no support, the boys are still so pumped up that it wouldn't really matter.
Absolutely, and one specific we really do have to talk about, I think, is the kind of the image of the club. Because I think what we should say is this is an absolute high point for it. But 2 years ago we had tab headlines and we had circling on the piazza. So do you think it's kind of really more than anything great to see how far the club has come? You guys have really done a great job in turning yourselves around since a couple of years ago.
Oh, I think the club has done an absolutely brilliant job. Last year at the Sports Ball in 2015, we won the Sports Officers Award just for having not the best start of the year, but being able to turn it around, having no other issues for the rest of the year. We had our suspension from the SU. We got over it. We recovered. We are now in a situation where, as we move into next year, the third years, who will be third years next year, are the people who were initiated when the club were having issues.
Yeah.
So we're sort of building a mindset in the club, such that all the members in the club were there while the club was in turmoil. Turmoil is a very strong word.
Well,
so when there was trouble going on in the club, we have sort of been brought through the club in an era where behaviour was essential.
Yeah, you appreciate that now as a result.
We understand that being well behaved is a mandate of the club. The fact that the stereotype of a rugby club is in the past. We're one of the biggest sports clubs on campus. we appreciate that we have to be well behaved. It's not a matter of just being a bit well behaved and then just sort of going off and doing our own thing and just being stupid. It's a matter of having a mindset where we know what to do the entire time, and I'm really proud of the club for the progression we've made.
Absolutely, and is that something you've ever experienced, Megan? Maybe the negative side of the perception of sports clubs on campus? I think I remember talking to Sam Brooke actually, and he had an experience. He's the men's first team captain for football, and he had an experience where I think it was Vice got in touch with him and were trying to kind of coax him into talking about the drinking side of the club. Do you think a lot of the time there's a lot of people kind of wanting the clubs to maybe pander to that kind of stereotype of being very outlandish and very unruly?
Yeah, I think so occasionally. I think rugby sort of put out a bit of a warning last year for a lot of the clubs, and at our sort of exec meeting for the coming year we sort of were much more aware of what could happen and the consequences of being sort of too outlandish and too drinking. So I mean, luckily for all of us, unfortunately you guys made the mistakes, but I think it's helped all the other sports clubs learn from it a little bit. And I think there's probably a little bit of a drinking culture, but it's
controlled drinking, I think, is the impression I always get from the club.
The social secs of failure. Our social sec at rowing is fairly responsible with letting people drink what they want to drink and not being too forceful. And I think in netball it's kind of similar.
Yeah. And speaking of social secretaries, am I right in thinking that Lucas Ragon is yours? Am I completely wrong there?
Well,
my research is not quite.
Unfortunately, I would have to say you are completely wrong. In rugby, we don't go for the standard president and social sec model. We have what's called a chairman, which is what Ted Croson is.
Yes.
Ted Croson is the chairman, so that means he takes. The best way I can explain it is a sense that he would take the roles of both chairman and social sec.
Right.
So he would run our circles on a Wednesday and also run every other logistical element of the club. It's a big role, chairman. And Ted Croson, I think, has done a spectacular job this year of keeping it all together, especially seeing as for the start of it, we were still on a suspended disbandment.
Yeah.
And he has still managed to come forward and help the club progress and done a brilliant job of supporting the club through all of our ups and downs.
But just to check that I'm not going completely insane, is Lucas Ragon an exec member, or is he just
Lucas Ragon is an exec member. He is the general secretary.
He is the general secretary. There you go. You can understand what I mean.
Yeah, it's our sort of equivalent of vice pres in the way that we have the chairman, the club captain who run the club as the two main exec members. Most of the decisions go through those two, but general sec and treasurer are the other two main members of the exec, and Lucas Ragon, yes, it's general sec.
Absolutely, and we can just see now the teams are on the pitch warming up. But the reason I have mentioned Lucas is because a cause very close to the hearts of both Raw and I'm sure many societies on campus is the mental health awareness charity Mind. And a few months ago, Raw 12:51am, your student radio station, attempted a live charity broadcast of which Lucas Ragon played for a charity football match for the Raw Sport team. Let's have a look at how that went.
Hello, you join us here today on the Warwick Piazza for the Raw Sport five-a-side football match. The weather might be a bit cloudy, but that does not stop the Raw Sport team from raising a bit of money for charity. We're here, the marathon's been cancelled, but we're going to try and raise a bit of money for Mind.
If you want to support them, all you need to do is go to justgiving.com/raw-1251am. So what we're going to do this evening, hopefully, in a kind of Top Gear-esque level of endeavour, but fundamental haplessness, is try and have a five-a-side game with members of our team and then members of sports clubs, most of whom have decided they'd rather be in other cities than here today. That's not my fault, but we're still going to go on and we're still going to raise money for Mind and generally laugh about. All is well. Oh no.
Oh, what a goal! At half time, it is Arsenal 1, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Arsenal in green, Tottenham Hotspurs in red.
It's a game of two halves. There's going to be some football played in those two halves. But one thing can we sure of, it's going to be two halves. And this for charity. It's for a very worthy cause. I like charity. You should donate to charity.
Second half about to get underway as the Greens are 2-1 down.
How are we going to feel that? Talk about Varsity. Talk about sport. Charity.
The one time we start a broadcast on time, and they go and move the kickoff. Absolutely.
Talk about rowing for a bit. Talk all day about rowing and you'll get bored. That's your microphone.
Have you seen this charity clip?
Oh, what a goal!
How many weeks left? How many weeks left? We get all.
Did we win that match yet?
Say them again. Can we go to? Can we go to ice hockey after this? Just give us a bit of time to not.
There is the full-time whistle. The referee has put a beleaguered, a butchered Tottenham side out of their misery. The final score of Tottenham 3, Arsenal 7.
What are we
But
talking
the
about?
real winners here aren't Arsenal,
very good
but
question.
it is charity.
Varsity,
We are doing
Varsity
this
next
for mind.
year.
So how does it feel to be man of the match today, Lucas?
Well, it was not a personal
Yeah, I can.
personal effort.
In fact, we'll talk about charity ventures for clubs, then Varsity next year, and then we'll go on to ice hockey highlights. Yeah.
I mean, we played well. At the end of the day, we scored more goals. We somehow ended up with the win. Good side team performance.
Absolutely. And you can still donate to Minds there on behalf of Raw 1251 AM by going to justgiving.com/raw-1251 AM, an incredibly worthy cause. And a point I do want to pick up on, because we have mentioned the kind of more social side of the clubs, and a clarification I have to make as well, Megan, you are on the rowing exec, not to the netball exec. No longer part of the netball team, very sadly, but two wonderful clubs as well, rowing and big up both of them if you're watching at home. And we have to say that both clubs on campus, as well as every club on campus, I always get the impression, just like Raw, there's a huge impetus on helping out in the local community and charity ventures. So what sort of things like that have you got going on for rowing?
So rowing, we did our 48-hour row for Doctors Without Borders. We also are doing various things. We took part in Movember, that was mainly the guys.
I was going to say, if the girls took part in Movember, I mean, it could happen.
I mean, I was on the group for a while, they removed me because I wasn't doing so well. And then netball have a number of ones. So they run a tournament which is for charity, but they invite lots of other universities along. That's happening in a week's time, which is great if anyone fancies going along and watching a bit of netball.
Yeah, I always love netball. Are you going to win this one? Well, I say you.
They did last year,
Yeah.
so let's hope, fingers crossed. And then there's one with all the clubs in the summer, so Rugby come along and try and beat us.
Ooh.
I think you won last year,
A bit of a healthy competition there, maybe, George.
we try our best.
You do. And in terms of charity, I noticed, I think, when Rugby did come on, the Purple Patch, which is show on Raw, you can check that one out. We'll do a plug for that. You can check out on Raw 1251 AM all the university societies. I try and get as many as I can on your student radio station. That is Mondays fortnightly, 4 p.m. And Rugby have been on in the past, as have rowing and netball. And when Rugby came on, I remember Ted saying that there's a lot of charity ventures that you guys really put a lot of effort into. So is there anything you guys have got going on at the moment specifically?
At the moment, I'm not particularly sure, but I know that the main charity venture that Rugby do take part in is Movember, along with lots of the other male sports clubs. It's something that we do take very seriously. It's something that lots of male sports clubs across the country take very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way that we can sort of contribute money to problems which are very close to us.
Yeah.
Like the money that Movember raises is it's really for problems that we foresee ourselves having. It's not a selfish way, but it's in a way that we feel that it's very close to our hearts, essentially, is what I feel. And I know that as someone who's running for chairman next year, and lots of the other people who are running for chairman next year, feel that that charitable events is something that we really need to increase our sort of club ethic on. It's something that we really need to sort of enlarge as a club, our charity appearances. But yes, I can't say we have anything running right now, but it's something we do throughout the year.
Absolutely, and just to provide a little bit of an update, if you're growing slightly tired of us talking, we can confirm that the kickoff has now been moved to 25-2. We're not sure exactly what the reasons for that are. Do you think that's going to play in the minds of the boys at all there, George?
No, I don't think it's going to play in the minds of the boys at all. I've just been out watching them warm up, and they are looking sharp.
Very sharp.
They are really looking as good as they have been all season. I think that they are going to go out there and really make an impact.
Absolutely, and I think before we move on, because we have some highlights for ice hockey that we can bring you shortly, but before we do, I think it's not really an elephant in the room, but I think in terms of charity ventures, since you are a member of rowing, Megan, one of the biggest things to come out of Warwick Uni, one of the biggest charity ventures you have to say is the naked calendars from both men's and women's rowing. So what are your experiences as a member of the women's rowing exec of those naked calendars?
So the men's is outsourced, so I have very little to do with that one.
You haven't been on photo shoots or anything?
No, I haven't. My friend actually went down to the boathouse to pick up a boat whilst the men's one was going on, and she didn't quite know where to look.
I suppose you don't.
In terms of the women's one, I was involved in one of the shoots on camp, but I had just come from training, so it didn't look particularly great and didn't actually partake in it. Maybe this year we'll see what happens, but the girls all found it incredible. I think it's just one of those things that once you're all there and you just have a bit of a laugh. I think the guys felt the same, I suppose.
And is it for Macmillan that the girls do it?
Yeah, the girls for Macmillan. So a few years ago, one of the girls' aunts, I believe, had cancer. And so for those girls who set it up, it was really, really close to them. And they've managed to obviously create this product, and it's still going, which credit to them after a few years. We don't have that same link, but I'm hoping it'll continue on for a few years, because it's a nice legacy to leave as part of the club.
Absolutely, and I was in Freshers actually with Amy Crow, who I believe is the calendar secretary. Do you have a
calendar officer?
Officer, and she always says it's a very natural thing. Do you think there's a bit of a stigma about nudity, and is doing a naked calendar something that you'd be open to, and in particular in the environment of a sports club, something that you can use to get closer to your friends?
I think in terms of team building, it's one of those things, you just end up having a great time, and I think the one thing people have said is it's weirdly comfortable. Once you're all naked, it's just like, fair enough. Whereas, maybe other things you don't get so close. I think for our club, it's something really nice. It's a combination of what we love, and also we're able to raise money for both our club, but also Macmillan charity. So
and George, thoughts on a men's rugby naked calendar? Is it something you guys think would be open to, and what are your views on it?
It hasn't really been something we've discussed. The thing is, like, the Warwick men's rowing calendar is something that's so huge. I know they toured America to advertise.
They've been on BuzzFeed.
Like
they've been on Raw 1251am's YouTube channel. I think that was their interview with me, possibly the biggest moment of their career. Maybe.
The rowers, I feel, have got a little bit of a monopoly on the naked calendar.
It's a strange monopoly to have.
And I feel the rugby team, with our slightly enlarged waistlines, it's going to feel slightly unimpressive compared to the rowers. But if there was sufficient demand for one, I'm sure we would step up to the
there
plate.
is.
I have a few guest pages in the men's calendar.
I think
okay.
I think there's the Oxford men's team. I think did one. The rugby team, that is.
Oh well.
So there's no excuses to doing it.
I'll have a look at it. If they set the bar high, then I'm sure we'll be able to overcome them.
I'm not sure about the media societies anytime soon. I think the moment it gets to a mixed naked calendar, it maybe gets a little bit awkward. So if you're holding out for a Raw and Warwick TV one, I think you might have to be waiting a bit of a long time. But all for a great cause and all for charity. So something I think we can back, regardless of whether we do it ourselves.
Of course.
Absolutely, and on that note, we can see some highlights from the Varsity intro, and that is the ice hockey, which ended disappointingly for Warwick, but was a fantastic spectacle nevertheless. That is 9 minutes.
Boom!
Yeah, they do. That's what they crap out
away from the puck off. The players are going through their paces down on the ice. I don't know, if we're looking at body language, Fraser, Who looks more concerned than?
I think Warwick are very, very nervous. Coventry started very well last year.
They did.
They can take solace from that.
Tristan was like,
So anyway, puck-off, we're underway. And it's a fast start from Coventry, coming down the left-hand flank, deep into Warwick territory already. Coventry still in possession, get an early shot away there, handed away by number 31, Dan Harrison,
Controversial highlights,
the late coming goaltender to the fixture. Coventry still in possession in Warwick territory.
Did you hear about that?
And they play into a central position. Oh! And the crowd, early reaction from the crowd there, Fraser. I think that's an early opening for Coventry.
Yeah, massive opener. Lovely play, a lovely ball, lovely puck inside, I should say. And Coventry will be disappointed not to have scored there. I think the crowd are
8 minutes
still in possession here, Coventry. Warwick haven't had a sniff yet. And Warwick break away. Now this could be important.
Yes, 48.
Engstrom made good progress down the middle there.
Indeed.
And the ref has called a stoppage here. Yeah, Warwick did well to get back there. The back line holding. Oh, that's the first physical contact of the contest.
We will be seeing a lot more of those. Ice hockey is one of those physical sports I've ever seen.
It's chess played at 100 miles an hour. And what's this? And Warwick take an early lead here at the Sky Dome. Fantastic quick thinking from Engstrom there, an improvised finish. Absolutely buried that home.
And it's that man, Jacob Engstrom. He's done it. He was pointed out before the game as being the key player, and he's fired Warwick ahead here.
After probing early on, he's seen his efforts rewarded with an early goal that gives Warwick the initiative. Warwick leading Coventry by a margin of 1-0. Still a while to go in this period, but that will help Warwick no end getting an early goal here, Fraser.
That'll be hugely important. I think Warwick were under the cosh for a lot of that.
They were.
Opening minute and a half or so, and Warwick just ease the nerves. Oh my word!
Oh no! Well, after all that, after soaking up all that Coventry pressure, Coventry have equalised.
Can you believe it?
With a goal scarcely 5 seconds after the restart.
It was a shot in hope, Jacob.
It was.
Miles out. Absolutely miles out. And Dan Harrison, maybe that late arrival,
are in raptures.
Oh, steady on.
Simmons down the. Oh, excellent save from Harrison. He had to react quickly there. Simmons had a shot out on the left, and it was coming in at a rapid speed.
Yeah, and that follow-up hit the side netting.
Oh no! It was a wicked deflection. And Coventry have taken a lead. They've turned it around. Snapshot at the Warwick goal there. Nothing comes of it.
Huge thump.
Oh no! Absolute disaster. It was a looping shot. And it ends up in the back of the Warwick net again. Coventry in full command of this fixture, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not quite sure what I'm seeing. This is really painful viewing.
It's a sucker punch from Coventry there, because Warwick were building up a head of steam down into Coventry's half, and then Coventry had one little spell of play, and Harrison again. I'm sorry, he should be doing better there in goal.
Now, Warwick do need to stay alert, because the
no! My word!
The gap is made even wider. Coventry are capitalising on some sloppy Warwick play here. Meadows has it. Just miscued his strike there. As Coventry break down the left. Story. Oh no!
The pace from Story made that goal.
Simmons flashes it at goal. They're just running the show. Possession, speed, goals. They have it all.
There's always a man.
There's always an available man.
Oh my goodness.
Story again.
It's too easy, Jacob. It's 6-1. It is too easy. Coventry are ripping Warwick apart, but they're not even there.
Coventry, like clockwork, have eased into a 6-1 lead here. And there's a parallel there with how the Warwick players have lost their heads, and they need to. Oh no! And just as we say that, the Warwick players lose their heads, their shoulders slump as they concede an 8th goal. Slater breaking with pace down the right into Story, and it's another goal for Coventry.
I don't believe it!
It is 9-1 to Coventry. And Coventry comfortably in possession here. The ways, the hoorays from the crowd are ringing out across the ring. They're playing for fun. They're into double figures. It's 10-1 to Coventry, and it's spectacular. It was an amazing dribble from the Coventry attacking player, and what do you say to that, Fraser?
Unbelievable. Honestly, the crowd were weighing every single pass. Way.
Absolutely loving it.
We were waiting for a pass, and it never came because the Coventry player, took on the entire Warwick team and beat them with ease. And it just sums up the game so far as Coventry entered double figures.
Warwick still in possession. Engstrom. Engstrom, lovely reversal. And he gets body checked there. Loses out, but Engstrom did. Unbelievable! Warwick out of nowhere!
Finally!
With a goal that chips away at the deficit.
Played, unlucky.
Lovely pass. Keeps possession for Coventry, but Warwick have it back now.
He's got a man on.
It's that man Meadows, the second goal scorer for Warwick. Plays it back. Kinsella with options. Back to Meadows. Lovely little exchange of play there. Patterson! It's a goal for Warwick! Fantastic! It's the captain, Jay Patterson, with a very important goal for Warwick. That's 2 on the trot now. In the Coventry half, Warwick still with the puck. Meadows! That's another goal for Warwick!
It's a goal! Oh my goodness!
Go on, Meadows!
What a fist bump from Meadows! He knows how important that goal could be.
As they came out for the third period, you could see they did look up for the fight. I could see Patterson geeing on the troops, but it's all come to nothing as normal service resumes and Coventry.
Oh my gosh!
They've done it again. That may be that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
In this third period, Coventry have just scored their 14th, and that opens up a double digits margin of 10 that Warwick have to overcome in 19 minutes to do it. Meadows working his way down the middle. Can he finish it? Yes, he can! Warwick salvaging some pride here. It's all kicking off. We've been treated to 3 goals in the space of 1 minute and 36 seconds here in the third period. A bit red-faced after giving up possession, but no. Engstrom making great strides down the left. Sends the Coventry player flying, and he's still got it now. Can he? Yes, he has! Engstrom, that's a goal, surely!
Is it in? I think it's
Controversy! It had to be in!
It's a goal.
It crossed the line! It's a goal for Warwick! That's Engstrom. Motos his way down the. Still in play. Yes, it's in! He snuck it in at the left-hand post! Remarkable! That's 2 goals in the space of a minute for Warwick. Engstrom, can he finish the match on a high? Full glory.
Here we go. 1.
And that, as they say, is that. The final whistle blows, and it's been an evening to forget if you're a Warwick fan. The home team has trumped 14 goals to Warwick's 9. Coventry trump Warwick in what has been an absolute goal feast here at Planet Ice in Coventry.
So it was a night to forget there in the ice hockey for Warwick, but I'm sure this evening will be one to remember. The teams are out and we'll be handing over to our commentators very shortly. But before we do, maybe a prediction from you, Megan, for this game?
Actual score?
Yeah.
25-18.
25-18 from you, and maybe giving us a bit of expertise and insight, George. What are you feeling?
I feel it's going to be more like 35-10 to Warwick.
35-10 to Warwick, and on that note, we will hand over to our commentators, Rob Starman and Niall Johnson.
We'll be on soon. Hello and welcome. I'm Niall Johnson. I'm joined by my good friend Rob Starman for what is the finale of Varsity 2016 at the Ricoh Arena. Rob, how are you feeling?
I can't wait, Niall.
nice sort of clear evening, a little bit chilly, but decent crowd in. I think it's going to be a cracker. Can't wait.
It's a good crowd, isn't it? Coventry and Warwick fans are sitting at opposing ends after the Wasps Harlequin games that we just saw. They move round to the sides to face opposing, and the teams are now out on the pitch after the warm-up. Coventry currently in a huddle, wearing a quite interesting number.
Yeah, it's rather garish, sort of a striped rainbow shirt.
I don't think it's anything I've ever seen on the sporting pitch before.
No, it's certainly not my cup of tea, I must say. Certainly with the white shorts. But I mean, particularly in contrast to Warwick as well, a very sharp red and black Saracens-esque number. Can't wait, we're about to get going.
Very true, and here we are. We're ready for the kickoff now. The crowd are ready, we're just waiting for the whistle. Warwick have assembled, and we now await the kickoff. And off we go. He kicks to the far side of the pitch. There is a drop from Warwick.
It's gone back though.
It's gone back though, and we're now into a ruck. I think Warwick have managed to keep hold of the ball, and they throw it out. Whilst get down the line, Toby Osey there, tackled by the Coventry man. They get the ball out though, and they go blindside. A little grubber kick there. Warwick chase on. It's in the hands of the Coventry fullback, who plays it out and kicks it back over the top.
Yeah, very good kick.
That's quite a good kick there if it finds touch, but Warwick keep it in play. They've brought him down there in quite a difficult position, but Warwick ruck over well.
Good tackle that.
Warwick will continue to push on. Can they get it out of the ruck? They can, and they go for the kick from the scrum half. The up and under. There's a Warwick man under it, and he catches it. What a brilliant take! And the crowd are with him there as the team catches up. Unfortunately, he's just lost it forward. And the Coventry player runs towards him. It's in at the ruck, though. And the referee has blown his whistle. He's brought it back for a Coventry penalty. And I'm now going to bring you through the teams whilst we have a break in the proceedings. Number 1 today is the captain, Matthew Lavrovich. A tricky name there. At number 2, the hooker, Ed Wilkinson. Number 3, Matt Hall. The second rows are Patrick Stuff and Will Toole. Blindside flanker, Antoine Cornett. Open side flanker, Chris Orford. The number 8 today is Alex Folwell. At scrum half, we have George T-Boone. Fly half, Harry Kernick. The wingers today are Lewis Yule and Alex Bjornsson. Inside centre, Will Harvey. Outside centre, Toby Osey. And the fullback is Joe Ackroyd. As we have a scrum just inside the Coventry half.
Scrum's going to be key today. That was a very clean one, good ball out from Coventry there.
We were discussing earlier in the game, Warwick have quite... as Coventry break through the line, we'll go back to talk about the scrum, but Warwick are a man down, and he's still running. Can Warwick bring him down? They've managed to stop him just, but they've got the ball out, they've offloaded it, and now it's down at the ruck just outside the try line. Warwick have got numbers back now, and the referee has blown the whistle and given a Coventry penalty. Rob, what do we think that was for?
Well, it's just killing the ball at the breakdown. Fantastic break there from the Coventry outside centre. There's a big gap. It's eased straight through it. A good step from the fullback. Well brought down just in front of the post. But Coventry man off his feet at the Warwick man off his feet at the breakdown, slowing the ball. Penalty right in front of the post.
Do you think there was a bit of a weakness in Warwick's defensive line there?
Yeah, that was concerning actually. Huge gap. I mean. And then they're going for goal there, but yeah, big gap. I mean that's a worrying early sign. Because
I mean, I was watching them in the exhibition centre whilst they were training as the Wasps and Harlequin game was ongoing, and they looked to be working on things like that, getting their shape and formation in place. So that's not a great start to the game defensively.
Straight off a set piece, you've got to be tighter as a backline in defence there.
And now Coventry have a fairly simple kick just in front of the post. They would be very disappointed to miss this, and this will bring them up to 3-0. Their kicker standing over it. He takes a step back and up to the ball. A simple kick over the posts. The line judges wave it away.
I saw him taking kicks doing the warm-up beforehand on the pitch. They were a lot more difficult than that. He looks like a competent goal kicker. And I mean, that's meat and drink for any goal kicker, no matter what level.
So Warwick defensively are going to have to look not to create too many fouls and not give away penalties that Coventry will be able to convert.
I don't mind that Peter's been disciplined there, because Coventry very much could have scored a try. A little bit cynical, yes, but I think they made the right decision there to give away a penalty.
It's all right. 3 points rather than 7. Yeah. And those are the first points of the game. Unfortunately, Warwick are down 3-0, but it's very early and still plenty of time to go as Warwick kick off. Coming towards the Coventry box. Up jumps Warwick in a fine take into the maul, and the maul has collapsed.
By Yule the winger, I think.
By Yule the winger, brilliant. And we play it out. I think that's Lavrovich in there. Brought down, but Warwick have been rucking well so far, keeping hold of the ball, and they're playing it out Coventry have been very, very solid so far, wearing their rainbow-coloured kit. Warwick in black and red stripes, and Coventry have managed to get the turnover. What happened there, Rob?
Superb rugby from Coventry. It was a simple first receive carry by the hooker, Ed Wilkinson for Warwick, and the back row of Coventry, 2 of them, 7 and 8, straight over the ball, got themselves set, and Ed Wilkinson was just holding on, and the penalty was given.
Is that an issue with Warwick's back row not getting to the breakdown quick enough?
100%. Should have been there. I mean, that's just the second phase ball. But very, very good from Coventry. They run that quickly. An excellent technique come ruck time for that.
Definitely, and they've kicked it to the halfway line. Coventry will now have the line-up as they set up. I was again watching them doing line-out practice towards the start of the game, and Warwick have been very competent. They were taking every single throw, and we'll be hoping to hopefully win a lot of line-outs, as we've heard that our hooker isn't the most competent at throwing the ball in from a line-out.
Will Toole being, what, 6'7", almost 6'8".
Almost 6'8", should be able to win. And he puts in a good challenge there, but the Coventry flanker gets the ball out, and here they go attacking. It's onto the centre, who we break down just about into the ruck. The ball's recycled. And a quick little kick there in behind. He's found a gap, but has that gone out on the full?
I thought that went out on the full, Niall.
I think that may have gone out on the full. We'll wait and see. The line judge has decided it bounced just beforehand, I think.
Ooh. Well, he was nearer than I was, so I'm sorry.
He was slightly nearer, as we find ourselves in the top left-hand corner of the stadium. So
northwest,
it's a bowl. We're in northwest. So, yeah, we'll have to trust the line judge on that. It might have bounced on the line. If it's bounced on the line, is that straight out? Or
Yeah, no, indeed it is, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, to me, that was out, but fair enough. Good kick if it wasn't. It's exploited the space in behind.
Very true.
Our winger was up in the line, ready for the ball to be passed out blind. And
Very
pressure
true.
on line out. First one for Ed Wilkinson throwing in.
This is Ed Wilkinson's first challenge. Let's see, I'm sure he'll be looking for Toole, and he finds him perfectly, but it goes through to number 8, who collects the ball well. And Warwick looking to recycle now as they get their attacking shape. Playing out, Toby Osey runs the dummy there, but now Warwick have men over, one more, and it's almost onto the winger. Our winger Lewis Yule running down, he's just stopped there, but it was a good little run, and the ruck has caught up with him well. And the ball is now to be able to be recycled, but
I thought so.
Coventry have illegally overturned the ball there.
Just playing the ball on the floor, he can't pick it up from that position, he just comes straight in with his hands and taking it back. Good play from Alex Yule there, decided to cut inside, let the support get to him.
And Harry Koenig has gone for the kick there, but hasn't gained particularly much ground. Do you think it's safe better than sorry on that kick? Or do you think he could have gone for a bit more?
Kick, I'm not going to lie. Didn't get much ground at all.
No.
He should have got us near into the 22 there, but instead we're about 2-3 metres outside.
It was quite a difficult angle though. There wasn't much to work with there. So.
And that was a lovely back move through the hands. Coventry defending very narrowly, so there's a lot of space out wide, and they exploited it well there.
Definitely. Well, we do have quite a tall line out actually. Yeah. We've got Matthew Levorotich, 6'4". We've got Will Toole, Will Towell, 6'7".
Patrick Stuff, he's only 6'3", but he's gone up for both those last 2 line outs, winning that last one in the scrum cap there. He looks like a handy line out jumper.
Here we go as the line out comes in. We prepare throw. It goes deep. The Coventry man gets a touch on it, but Warwick have kept hold of the ball and are mauling forwards. Moore's collapsed, but the ruck has come in. The scrum half. Of Warwick lost the ball forwards.
Knock on.
Knocked on forwards there in the ruck. That's a real shame because we gained some good ground there and we could have mounted an attack.
Yeah, so that's an unforced error really. I mean, just forwards is sort of keeping it tight, picking, going around the ruck, and to spill that's disappointing, particularly in such a promising position. On their 22.
Of course, I imagine for a lot of these players, this will be by far the biggest stadium they've ever played at. Maybe even the largest crowd they've ever played in front of. Do you think nerves will play much of a part in today's match?
To an extent, I think perhaps early on, but you'd hope once you get going that you just forget about nerves and you're just focused on the game itself.
Oh, and the ball has come straight back out of the scrum, Coventry's way, and a weak pass from the scrum half leads to a worried, panicked kick there, which hasn't just only made it out of its 22, but the Warwick Alex Bjornsson under the ball has panicked.
He's knocked on.
He slightly backed out of that one. A knock on there from the Warwick player. He just didn't read it there in the air.
Yeah, I mean, it went quite high, that kick. Wasn't a lot of distance on it from the Cov inside centre.
I suppose it allowed the Coventry players to run up on him and apply the pressure.
Any kick can be made a good kick if it's chased well, and Coventry chased that as well as you could expect, and it's resulted in a scrum for them.
Very true, and that is just outside the 22 for Coventry as we prepare for our 3rd scrum of the game, I do believe. Scrum has begun and the ball has entered. Warwick pushing forwards well, but the ball is out again. Straight to Coventry's fly half to the fullback, who opts to kick from inside their 22. Warwick's fullback, Joe Ackroyd, is under the ball and takes that confidently and begins to run at the Coventry defence. He gets taken down, but the Warwick forwards are straight in on that, protecting the ball. And now we're playing the ball out again. Toby Osey on the ball, one of his first touches of the game, the outside centre, brought down relatively quickly. But the ball's recycled. A bit of a bobble there in the hand, as we're now on the near touchline. Coventry's defence resilient thus far.
Good strong carry that from Will Toole.
And as a result, Coventry have won the ball. An infringement there from Warwick. Rob, did you see what that was?
Yeah, again, it was just
is it holding on in the ruck?
Yeah. Will Toole carried well, but was just isolated. It was actually such a strong carry, broke half through that first tackle that Coventry just got to the ruck quicker.
And they certainly gives Coventry
held on. Yeah.
Certainly gives Coventry very good opportunity, but the ball does not make the touchline, and Warwick are now pushing forwards. A good strong run here
by Yule again.
Almost up to the halfway line as the ball goes back. Harry Kernick on the ball. And a poor touch there by our inside centre Will Harvey.
Regulation passes dropped there.
Indeed, it went backwards though, so luckily Warwick is still on the ball. They'll want to release the pressure a little bit. Our scrum half's taking it straight out and is brought to the ground. And the ball's out. A big kick there by Kernick, being chased by Alex Bjornsson. The Coventry fullback has gained the ball well there and passed it out. But now he's certainly isolated. Warwick could maybe win the ball here in the ruck.
It's an advantage to Coventry.
Advantage to Coventry at the moment.
I think one of the Warwick chasers was offside. Chased the kick, he was offside.
Bjornsson may well have been offside there. It's disappointing so far. I mean, we've got to applaud. And Warwick seems to turn over the ball, but the referee has brought it back for the Coventry advantage. Discipline seems to have been an issue so far for the Warwick team.
Just precision generally. I mean, it was a bad missed tackle bad drop pass by Will Harvey inside centre. And that was straight there because took his eyes off the ball. And those delays just creeping in at the moment for Warwick, and it's putting them under pressure.
Another kick there by the fly half, and he has made good ground there. It's up to the Warwick 22.
They touch this time.
Yeah. And they will set back up now for the line out.
At the moment, those couple of mistakes just mean that a lot of the rugby's been being played in Warwick's half. Coventry really on the front foot. They need to get their hands on the ball and really get it down this end of the field into Coventry's half and just play some territory rugby.
How important is Matt Lavrovich going to be as the captain and the prop and such a big presence in the scrum and the line out today?
Huge. He's just got to lead for the front really.
As we see the line out come in, it's gone deep again, all the way through to the Coventry number 8. The ball's now broken down, back into the ruck again. Oh, plays it out, but a poor knock on there.
Yeah, not the best pass that round his knees, and the Coventry forward just tried to get down to it, but couldn't quite, knocked it on. So a mistake from the Cov scrum half there.
Nice to see mistakes happening from both sides. That will probably ease Warwick a little bit there, give them a bit of confidence.
Yeah, they need a good scrum here. I'd be interested to see what they do. They've looked dangerous, their outside backs. So they're going to run it through the line from inside their own 22, or alternatively, Harry Kernick looked to make some territory by kicking it long downfield.
Definitely. I mean, looking at our back line, Alex Bjornsson is one of the paciest players on the team. So getting the ball out wide to him and giving him a chance to run might be one of the best chances, especially from this scrum with so much space on the far side.
Good shove from Warwick there.
And the ball is out. Can they get it one more out to Bjornsson? He's calling for it, but Toby Osey has held and carried. And we're now at the ruck. But Coventry have turned over, the ball left the ruck, and that's another disappointing piece of play, and Coventry had the advantage going forwards. Maybe Osey should have got rid of the ball earlier there.
That's the fourth turnover already. That's really concerning from Warwick's point of view at the breakdown. 2 penalties and 2 legitimate turnovers.
And yep, Coventry have taken the penalty for the earlier knock-on. Do you reckon they might go for goal from there?
It's a scrum, I believe.
Oh, it's a scrum, okay.
Knocked it on. So, roles reverse again. Fantastic platform for Coventry to attack from. I think with that, this is probably a far bigger pitch than they're used to playing on. Or certainly, a little bit bigger. And so getting it out wide and using the space and using your quick guys, maybe a Toby Osey or Lewis Ewell, Alex Bjornsson. I think it's going to be crucial, and likewise for Coventry. So if you get your quick guys out in space.
Speaking about the space as well, in behind we're seeing a lot of space, and how important will Harry Kernick as the fly half? I mean, they know him as Golden Boots. He's one of the he's the only fresher in the squad. How important is his kicking game going to be today?
Crucial.
As Warwick put a bit of pressure in from the scrum, but the ball has got out, and they're organising slowly along the back. Coventry happy to keep it in the forwards as they make ground slowly. The ball's gone out again against the forwards. Coventry are mauling well together. And another penalty has gone Coventry's way. The Warwick players aren't happy about it. Toby Osei raises his hands in the air, but have they got anything to complain about there?
Hard to see from where we're sitting, but
I'll get you a pair of binoculars for the next challenge.
Because I mean, the Coventry players in the back of us. I thought Warwick team's done a pretty good job slowing the ball down there, but obviously there was something illegal going on, perhaps, and someone in at the side or off their feet. But good from Coventry there. Base that scrum, a couple of strong carries up, got a penalty, and you can see the difference territory makes. All the rugby's been down that end, and if you get this, they're 6-0 up. Warwick really need to start playing in Coventry's half, and preferably in their 22.
Exactly, and this, of course, is another opportunity to go 6-0 up. The Coventry fly half is standing over the ball, eyeing up the posts. There won't be any Warwick chasers on this one, as he steps up to the ball and hits it sweetly, but he's missed. It's gone to the left of the post. He'll be very, very disappointed with that. You'd see that as a regulation kick, really.
Yeah.
The Coventry fans aren't happy, but the Warwick fans are happy, and that's all that really matters to us here on Raw and WTV. As Warwick pick up the ball to take it from their 22.
It's really important to chase this kick well.
Koenig's gone for ground on this. A good take by the Coventry player. He passes that straight away. Are the Warwick players getting up close enough? Are they running up and bringing the line up together well enough, Rob?
On that case, yes, I think so. Nice sweeping line up. They didn't push too hard on the chase, but I mean, you can see now Coventry on the halfway line. If they score from here, they've done well. So I think that was a good chase from Warwick.
Very true. And they've continued to go blindside there, but well stopped by Toby Osei. But Coventry recycle the ball well. They've been very good in the ruck so far and play it out. They had a dummy man running behind who dummies, but very well tackled there by the Warwick back line. And the ball is out of the ruck, but Coventry first to it, as they have been so far throughout the game. Quick feet by their centre.
It's been stolen.
But the ball has been stolen, but well done.
Alex Fulwell, fantastic.
And a very quick kick there by the scrum half, George T-Boone. But the chase wasn't quite quick enough, and Coventry had the chance to kick the ball away. He's gone in behind Alex Bjornsson, and Coventry have a winger runner running onto it, but the ball has just gone out into touch. Thankfully for the Warwick man, the fullback was covering, but that would have caused some difficulties with him running full pelt into him.
That was an excellent kick from the Cov fullback. Second one is done.
Very clever. Do you think that was intentional?
Yeah, undoubtedly. Saw the space in behind, and it really seems that the Coventry are trying to play more territory. They're kicking to the corners with a bit more purpose than Warwick. I don't know whether they've just got less kickers on the Warwick side, or George Koenig doesn't seem to have the biggest boot on him. But it's really good from Coventry because it pins Warwick back in our half again. And it means you've got to do a lot because although it's our line out, we're a long way from their try line.
Here we go, Ed Wilkinson with the line out once again. Warwick are preparing. The captain Lavrovic is having a complaint about something. Maybe shouting some tactics over to Ed Wilkinson. And they go short with that. Coventry put an arm in, but I think Warwick have managed to keep hold of it.
No, it's a knock on.
Oh, knocked on. And Coventry again keep hold of the ball. A little bit of a push there by the Coventry player. Not very necessary on our fly half, Harry Kernick. Do you think maybe that might be one of the tactics for the evening, to rile up Kernick a bit? Because obviously one of the smaller players in the team, only weighing 70 kilograms, which is 12 kilograms less than the next player. He could be one to pick on for the Coventry team.
I think there's going to be a bit of bad blood, a bit of bite in this game anyway. And I think, I'm not sure how much they'll be looking on particular individuals, but certainly as a 15, both sides will be looking to assert themselves physically and just sort of get in each other's faces, a few niggles here and there. So I mean, I don't mind that. There wasn't too much in it. Good to see.
Fair enough. Just looking after the Warwick boys' interests as ever.
But I think Coventry have had the balance of play so far. Certainly worthy of their lead, and probably should have got that kick up. And 6-0 would be a fair reflection.
Certainly.
Thankfully, it's only 3-0.
I mean, if we were to look at possession and territory so far, pretty much all the action has been going on in the Warwick half.
And that's a combination of things I've already talked about. Some good kicking from Coventry, but also. Has he given a penalty here? I think he might have done.
Lavrovic has had words with the referee, and he's got the team in now. He's going to discuss tactics. Which
I feel the ref said to both captains, you know what? Actually, I don't want any nonsense. Talk to your players. We're here to play rugby, not anything else.
We can only applaud that decision by the referee. Keep tempers.
So it's indeed a penalty for a retaliation push from a Warwick player. That's petulant. That's slightly silly from Warwick.
And they've gone for the kick, but it's a poor kick. It's gone straight out past the try line.
That's very poor from Coventry. It was probably a kickable goal, but they've opted, given he missed the last one, they've opted for kicking for the corner. You've got to be finding touch from there. He's kicked it dead. Big let-off for Warwick. Both sides making some needless mistakes, really, knock-ons and errors like that. Second time now Coventry haven't found touch.
Indeed, very fortunate.
Yeah, and it's letting Warwick off at the moment.
Yeah, and they've brought it obviously back to where the penalty was for a scrum Warwick's way. This will be a chance for the scrum to sort of assert itself over Coventry.
But both Matt Lavrovic and Matt Hall are two props. Pride themselves on their scrummaging, so I'm hoping for
and not just their scrummaging, but their fantastic quads, which will hopefully drive them forwards as George T-Boone places the ball in, and the ball is out, and there was no blindside runner coming from Bjornsson there, but the ball luckily hasn't gone forward after being dropped, and Warwick have got the ball at the breakdown on the far side of the pitch. The ball is safe. They decided to go with the forwards down the blind side again. Oh, and there's a nice little bit of interchange there. And Bjornsson's running, and he plays it out. And Coventry have taken him down, but we're getting close to their 22 now. Quickest to the breakdown. Out to the fly half, who plays it to inside centre. Will Harvey.
Great pass out the back of the hand.
And now we're out to the wing, running down.
That was a lovely piece of skill from Will Harvey there, just passing it out the back of his hand as he was being tackled.
Definitely, and they've broken through the line there. An offload, but unfortunately dropped there.
That was a great passage of play from Warwick. That's the best bit of rugby we've seen from either side. A wonderful blindside move from the base of the ruck, then spreaded it across the field to the left, and now looked to bring it back to the right. Sadly knocked on there, but that's the first real bit of attacking endeavour I've seen from either side. Another handling error, which I'm sure they'll be disappointed at, but.
Definitely liquid rugby there from Warwick, playing the ball from one end to the other, and we find ourselves with a scrum just outside Coventry's 22. It'll be a Coventry ball that hopefully Warwick can put up a good challenge.
I'm really impressed with that from Will Harvey. He says he's known for carrying it, for carrying the ball hard in the middle, and he did that. But then having the presence of mind still to offload it out the back of the hand to the man outside him. I mean, that's a real piece of quality rugby. Great scrum.
Certainly, and the scrum has come back. Warwick pushed on well, but they've taken it out. Coventry trying to offload, but the Warwick man is pushing towards touch. Very well worked as the ball exits the ruck. Their fullback well tackled there by our scrum half, George T-Boone, really putting himself about. Warwick have got a very resilient line as the forwards from Coventry try and take it forward. And the scrum half of Coventry goes for the kick, but it's gone straight out into touch. So the line out will be taken from where the kick was, which is, well, moving towards the 22, just over the 10 line. Yeah, a good passage of play for Warwick at the minute, Rob.
This has been good, yeah. And again, you can see from so much of it is about territory. Both sides clearly are going to make mistakes, but by being in the Coventry half and Coventry make a mistake, we've suddenly got a great attacking position.
And here we are, the ball has gone out to our fly half, Kernick, who plays it to Harvey. Bjornsson is wide, and we know he's there for his pace. He's running at him. What a wonderful offload! And he tries that. He barges into the fullback, and he has got men there with him. It's a maul. The ball is still up as Warwick drive forwards.
Need to recycle it here, Warwick.
They need to recycle. The maul's been turning itself around as more men enter, and they drive forwards. They're making real ground up to the 5 line there, but they might get pushed out into touch. They need to make sure that doesn't happen. And it's still going forward, still on.
Creeping forward here.
Creeping forward, Rob. Here we go. And the ball has gone out into touch. But Warwick have applied very, very good pressure there. It was great to see, really.
Yeah, no, that was a brilliant piece of brilliant piece of rugby. Got the ball off top of the line out, clean catch from Pat Stuff. Down to T-Boone, and he played it out well, wonderfully down the line, and we really saw there for the first time Bjornson's pace, a good handoff.
Some serious
and in fact, it's our line out.
It's our line out. Warwick, well worked. If they can win this, and they've gone short, the ball is down, and they're going to try and recycle it. The Coventry Maul is pushing hard, but Warwick are pushing equally back, and they're making ground. You can see the ball, and it's got out. They're very close to the try line. Coventry are trying to hold it up, but they might have made it over. It's a try. The referee's gifted it a try, I think. And the music is playing. Warwick with their very first try on the far touchline. The Warwick crowd goes mental over here. The media team is clapping.
Yeah, that was a brilliant rolling maul. If you get that right, you can't stop it. And they found the man Will Toole of the line out, set themselves perfectly. Really textbook stuff. Drove it to the line, and there's nothing Coventry could do.
Do you think that will be a tactical decision that when they get line-outs very close to the opponent's try line, that they go short and push over because of the strength we have in the pack?
Yeah, it's a brilliant work to back. Matt Hall at the back, and he's bundled over there, the tight head prop. I bet he didn't think he was going to score today. So fantastic for him. That was far better from Warwick. Last 5 minutes, it's been a different side to what we saw in the opening 5.
That's brilliant work. And now Harry Kernick is here with his conversion, which is a pretty tricky one. It's all the way over by the touchline. And the Coventry fans are taunting him at the far side, but I'm sure that will not faze our star fly half. His very first varsity. Can he enter it? Well,
just wide.
Just wide. It had the distance, but not quite the accuracy. But I'm sure that won't faze him. A very, very difficult first
kick. That was a very tough kick right on the touchline. If he's knocked that over, Coventry really would have been worried. But we're now in the lead, 5-3. Scored the first try. Brilliant stuff. More of the same, hopefully, from Warwick.
Exactly. That will hopefully settle some nerves now for the Warwick team, getting points on the board. They can now push forward as the Coventry fly half brings it back for the next kickoff. And again, he goes high and not too deep, but under that well, just about, after a quick bobble in the hands, is the Warwick player. And out into the ruck. A poor throw, really, out of the scrum. And Toby Osei may have fumbled it, but I think the ball went backwards.
Ref's given it.
The ref's given it.
It was slightly ropey from that kick-off from Warwick. Sort of bobbled in the hands of, I think it might be the try scorer, Matt Hall, actually. But he did well to hold on to it, put it up, but then not a great pass out from the scrum half to the fly half, Kernick. He then, again, not ideal from him out to Toby Osei. He was under a lot of pressure. Tough catch to take, and alas, it's resulted in a knock-on.
Certainly. Well, we've got a pretty impressive crowd in tonight for a varsity game. Of course, the Ricoh Arena is a 30,000-seater stadium, so you don't really expect a university to fill it. But Coventry brought a fair amount of fans and have been pretty vocal so far. Warwick, as ever, the politer set of fans, you'd imagine.
Not too
here
many
to see some good rugby, really.
Certainly. It's a big stadium, a fantastic venue, and we saw even in the game earlier, great game that it was, despite the result, with Quins getting a bit of a pounding. But it wasn't even full then. But a good turnout and a fantastic setting. The floodlights are on this Sunday evening to round off Varsity 2016.
Indeed, as well. It's now a night sky after our pink sunset.
Yeah. It was beautiful. My mum always says, pink sky at night, shepherd's delight. So
of course, there won't be any storms tomorrow morning.
Yeah, so that's good news.
Which we like to hear. That's your weather forecast here on Raw. As Coventry have the put in at the scrum on Warwick's 22 line.
Great platform here to attack. Interestingly, they've it's pretty much straight in the middle of the pitch, in front of the post, and they've split their back line, 4 on the left-hand side, 2 to the right. So I imagine they're gonna play it to the left.
Definitely, they've got 1 extra man over. Coventry hoping to exploit our left side. But of course, Toby Osei is our defence specialist over on that side. But they've decided to go on the other side to what we thought. And he breaks through the first tackle, a very weak tackle, and he's moving towards the try line. The offload, and Coventry are over the line.
That's a great try.
They went the opposite side to which we thought, and it has paid off.
Yeah, fantastic play from the Coventry fullback.
I think he's been the best player on the pitch so far. He's done a couple of great kicks in there. He's come around from the left-hand side to the right, taken the ball, had a wonderful line, beaten his man, and then a little offload inside to the Coventry player who crashed over.
We've got to say that Will Harvey missed one of his tackles earlier on in the game, earlier on in the move, allowing him through to make the offload.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, there's a great opportunity to attack from, and that looked like a set move, perfectly executed from Cov. So credit where credit's due there. Really high quality piece of back play.
Very, very clever there from Coventry. And the Coventry fly half will now be kicking towards the Sky Blues end of the Ricoh Arena. The fans are making a bit of noise, maybe trying to put him off his game. As he runs up, Warwick are closing it, and they made very, very good ground there, but the kick has made it over.
Good kick.
A very, very accurate kick, and he tosses the pitch away. As he runs back, he's done his job.
Important that Warwick respond well here. Important that Harry Koenig gets a good kick in, well chased, and we pin Coventry back in their own half. An immediate response to that try.
Certainly. He's gone very short there. A very flat kick.
Yeah, well taken by the Coventry player.
Very well taken and handled as it breaks down to a ruck, and the Coventry scrum half gets the ball out. A bit of a loopy pass, which is kicked straight away, up and under. There's two men under it. Toby Ostie tries to apply pressure. It's hit backwards by the Coventry player, but some improvised play has done them well as their winger runs down. But Bjornsson with a lovely tackle, taking him into touch, but it wasn't quite. He released the ball beforehand. But that's the sort of intent from Bjornsson we want to see. And the Warwick line come up. They play back to fullback who kicks.
Fullback clearly their key player in terms of kicking from hand. That's another excellent kick.
He's found space, and Warwick's fullback is now on it. Joe Ackroyd running up. He dodges one man, but is brought down quickly, and the pack needs to get to the breakdown quicker.
Yeah, straight. They've done well in the end, but Coventry man first there over the ball. They've chased that kick superbly, and again the first man over the ball. Warwick need to get to the breakdown quicker.
They're giving themselves more work than they need to, and there seems to be an edge there. The Coventry man, hands in the ruck.
Yeah, that's okay. They've done well there, Warwick. Coventry have been really looking to try and get turnover ball because it's the best kind of ball to attack from, but they're just trying their luck a bit too much. A hand in the ruck, the rest spotted it.
And now a huge kick from Koenig. He hits it, but it's not going to go out, and the fullback again has caught the ball. It's disappointing, and the Warwick pack didn't get up particularly quickly there.
Probably not thankful their fly half missed touch.
Yeah.
Criminal error really, seeing that too much today.
Oh, a little double kick, but it's not to no avail. Should he have even tried to attempt that?
So it was nice with ambition, a little chip over, but straight into the Coventry player's hands. One of those things, and it's resulted in a penalty.
Is that the part of the pitch though, Rob, where those sort of intricate manoeuvres should be tried this early in the game?
This is the thing. When both sides are going to make mistakes, and by the more rugby, the moment Warwick got down in the Coventry half, they scored a try. All the rugby's been in our own half. Coventry really applying the pressure. And again, they've now got a line out inside their 22 to launch another attack. I really think it's important that Warwick get some more territory, play percentage rugby, maybe not necessarily the most exciting rugby, but just don't try and gamble too much in our own 22 like just then.
Certainly, as the Coventry forwards grab the ball from the line out, there is now a maul on the 22, but Warwick have been mauling well so far. They've been gathering good momentum and a good defence, but the ball is out. And Coventry have runners either side, but the ball has been turned over, and Alex Bjornsson is on the ball. He plays out to the full-back, Joe Ackroyd, who's running.
Back to Bjornsson, lovely offload.
A lovely offload down to Bjornsson. And the pack have caught out well and recycled the ball. T-Born out to our inside centre, Will Harvey. Ball's at the breakdown, George T-Born's there passing the ball out. Maybe looking for a kick now from Koenig. Will it go out and find touch? A difficult bounce, finds touch.
It's a lovely kick from Harry Koenig. I mean, he doesn't have the biggest boot in the world. It's not making yards and yards, but a lovely accurate kick in behind the Coventry defence. And now Coventry got a line out just outside their own 22.
Certainly, of course, Warwick and Coventry, two teams who know each other very well. This isn't just a varsity finale, it's also a Bucks game, so there is that added dimension.
I think that's really what matters more, because varsity, thankfully we've won 40-30.
As ever, our 26th victory in a row, undefeated, remains. Of course, on the first day it was looking a bit tricky after we lost the cricket, the equestrian, the snooker. Coventry are up, and that's a rare sight really. But Warwick managed to pull it back with a number of victories. And yes, Coventry winning the line out. And I think, do they have the advantage there?
No. Just standard line out there. Again, now they do. Just a Warwick player trying to come in from the side.
The Maul is driving on well.
Yeah, one of those days, if you set your Maul up right, it's so difficult to stop legally. I thought Warwick did very well earlier to stop one in their own 22, but this time I couldn't quite see who the player was because he came out from the side trying to get his hands on the ball. Can't do that. Well worked from Coventry and a deserved penalty.
Certainly. And they look for touch, and they find touch. He's got good distance on that kick, brought it up to close to the 22 line as they move forward. And the subs are warming up in front of us behind the try line that Warwick are aiming for, doing their squats and jumps. Of course, replacements will be very important in this game as it wears on. We've got a number of strong players. Strong defenders, ball carriers, tacklers. We've got really a very varied bench.
Yeah.
But a lot of players who can come on with experience. As Coventry have the ball in another maul, and they're quite happy to keep it in there. But Warwick with a bit of momentum, and the maul has dropped down. But Coventry winning another penalty, more ill-discipline.
Yeah, and a sin bin, yellow card,
and a sin bin now. For which player? Can we see which player that is?
It's Will Toole, the giant second row at 6'7".
Will Toole
just too many penalties are given away. It's an accumulation of them. It's the second in a row from Maul. As I said, difficult to stop. Coventry have done well to set one up. I imagine they're going to try to do the same again. I thought that's a little bit harsh to sin bin a player for giving away a penalty outside of their 22 in a situation like that. But the rest is. It's the rest words, the final words, and rather aggressively, we're down to 14 men.
And this will be a huge 10 minutes now. Warwick probably looking just not to concede, to have a strong defence.
You don't want to go 2 scores down at this stage.
No, far too early on in the game. As Coventry push forward, obviously Will Toole not in the maul anymore. So a slightly lighter maul as they have real momentum going forward. The Coventry crowd a growing in voice, but Warwick have managed to grab the penalty. Rob, what happened there?
Superb.
Over in the far corner of the pitch from us.
Yeah, so Coventry again, rolling maul, driving on, but Warwick this time managed to bring it down legally and hold the player up, and as a result, as it would have come, the ball couldn't come out, but as it would have come back Warwick's side, we get the scrum. That's superb defence. It's 2 penalties in a row, but a great response when it really mattered in our own 22 there from Warwick. And really happy with that.
This is surely going to put huge impetus on the kicking of Harry Kernick to get us out of trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, we are still down by our try line. And maybe the kicking of George T-Boone, the scrum half, who is known as Golden Boots. You think maybe out of the scrum he might go for a quick kick, maybe try and release Bjornsson in behind?
I feel if he's going to kick, the best option would be for the 8 to carry Alex Fulwell, and then a box kick from the base of the subsequent ruck. Otherwise, just get it straight back to Kernick and let him try and get us out of our 22.
Certainly. Well, we'll see which path of action Warwick take. As there is a bit of argy-bargy down in the corner there.
Yeah, just got to get this scrum set. I mean, this is a hugely important scrum. Really important that Matt Lavrovich, Ed Wilkinson and Matt Hall set down a good platform here from which Warwick can clear their lines.
Certainly. The 2 politics students and the engineering student. With a lot to do as the scrum turns around, and Coventry may have won the ball out of the scrum, but no, Warwick have held on to it.
Good work
and the
there
ruck has
for
emerged.
Alex Fulwell.
That was very important, and the box kick, as we saw there, from T-Boone. Following up, Warwick with great pressure, and Toby Osei has launched himself into the Coventry player, holding him up, not bringing him to ground.
That was a superb kick from T-Boone and well chased by Warwick.
And now Coventry have men over. It's a 3-on-1 situation. And a good tackle in the end from Harvey.
I think Coventry could have played that out wide there.
They could have. They had men over.
Second row went himself. White line fever. They had a man overlap.
And a very, very good tackle there. Hopefully the ruck can be won. We need men in. The ball comes out and slow driving from Coventry as usual. Their preferred route seems to be using the forwards to create a bit, to gain more territory. It's very edgy atmosphere around stadium in a minute as Coventry have men out, and it looks like, and And there has been a drop from the Coventry winger at the crucial moment. It was a clear try that should have been scored.
It was a pass, not the player stop. The pass was behind him. He was there 5 metres out, clear running. Pass slightly behind him, and he just
gets rid of it. But the ball hasn't gone out of play, and Warwick need to get up here. He's running towards the 22 unopposed, and he continues to run through.
The fullback's a really dangerous player. We can't allow him that much time and space.
And Coventry again have men over. They'll be waiting. The Warwick lads are calling over for a greater defence. Toby Osey moves to help out in the line, but there is only one man. Bjornson's over, and Warwick have won the penalty.
And it's been a poor last few minutes from Warwick, but much better there from the forwards, getting over the ball, earning the turnover penalty, and hopefully Harry Kernick can get us deep out of our half and into their territory.
Kernick with the kick. He's got a bit more distance on this, and he has found touch.
That's an okay kick, almost up to halfway.
Not a bad kick at all. And you were saying earlier, Rob, this is probably a bigger pitch than they're used to playing on.
Yeah, I imagine so. Certainly wider as well. It's quite a wide, even for any rugby pitch. It's a wide pitch. It's obviously originally a purpose-built football stadium, so there's plenty of space out on the wings, and it's good to see that both sides have tried to get it out to their wingers. But Warwick here, 10-5 down, really need to step it up.
Certainly,
lost the line out.
Oh, and losing the line out is always not very good. And Coventry have men over. They're playing it out very well. Tobias with the tackle, but the ball has gotten out, and it's 3-on-1 situation now. And he is committed. The Warwick player is committed.
That was excellent defence from Warwick, actually.
He held his line there, stayed on his feet.
They should have scored, committed to the outside man. He should have gone for the corner, but the guy cut inside, and Warwick got across well. Another let off there. 2 overlaps.
That was our inside centre, Will Harvey, there, keeping on and staying on his feet, doing a great job.
There's 2 overlaps in a row. They haven't finished, Coventry. Must be a try.
Very, very close to the try line now. Coventry getting out, but it's been bundled out. But running forward is the Coventry flanker, I think, running forward. But Warwick have got a steady defence at the minute, calling men over.
Interesting, the Coventry have gone blind there. I think they should have gone out to the wider side of the field, more space. They go that way now.
They're going out now, and they do have men over. But will the pass be right this time? And Toby Osey does a wonderful job of holding him up.
Good defensive discipline there, twice in a row from Warwick.
And this is really what they need to be doing whilst Will Toole is off the pitch. But Coventry have earned the penalty. But rather that than the try, as we discussed earlier.
We're seeing actually although they haven't finished those chances, Coventry doing really well to engineer the space, getting overlaps. As a result of that, of Warwick being a man down. Just quite disappointing that from their point of view, that they haven't been able to finish those off.
Certainly. And of course, I'm estimating there's about 5 or 10 minutes to go. We don't have the timer, but 10-5 currently to Coventry leading in this varsity finale, but plenty of time for Warwick to get back into the game, as Coventry have opted to go for the place kick. The Coventry fly half has scored 2 of his 3 kicks so far.
Yeah, important that he gets this one.
It's from the similar position from the one he missed, but on the other side of the posts.
Yeah, and it's going 13-5 up means they're more than a converted try ahead. So Warwick will need 2 scores to get back in front.
Gives them a good level of security as the fly half eyes up the posts. He has a booing crowd behind him. The Warwick fans making their opinions vocal as he kicks for goal.
He's missed.
And those cheers, as you,
and that's half time.
I suggest, means that at the break, Coventry are leading 10-5, but it could have been 13, and that will really spur on the Warwick players going into the second. All they need is that try to get level back on terms.
Yeah, big let off there from our point of view. If they get that 13-5, they're 8 points ahead. Will be a longer way back, particularly down to 14 men at the moment, with Will Toole still in the sin bin.
What do you think will be the biggest, the main thing that will be discussed in the changing room now?
I think he's actually just doing the basics. There's been a few too many handling errors. I think we've defended better as the game's gone on. There was that one early line break, but since then got on top of it. So I just think it's doing the basics and just trying to get more into Coventry's half, because when we've been in their half, we've looked more like scoring, which is ultimately what we need to do.
Brilliant. Well, I think we are now joined by the new Vice-Chancellor of Warwick University, Stuart Croft, to hear his thoughts on the game so far.
Joined here, Stuart Croft, the new... It's not going too well, is it, thus far?
Line-outs. The guys are just too nervous at the moment, need to settle down.
Having said that, are you confident Warwick can claw it back and win this Varsity fixture?
We've got the power in the scrum, we've got the ability to move the ball fast, settle down, we'll get 3 tries second half.
How have you enjoyed Varsity this year so far, Varsity 2016?
It's been brilliant, we've had great times, great games, really a lot of enthusiasm, and it's great to really work together with people from Coventry University as well.
Exactly, fantastic. And is this your first time at the Ricoh Arena out of interest?
As well, yet to come and see Coventry City here.
Fantastic. Are you a Coventry fan?
I'm a Villa supporter.
Oh no, bad time, Stuart, bad time. Very nice to speak to you, Stuart. Thank you very much.
With Stuart Croft, the Vice-Chancellor of Warwick Uni, and do you think he'll be happy with that half of rugby? Coventry leading at half-time and not the result the boys would have wanted, Megan. What did you make of proceedings?
It's tough, I think, for the guys. They've gone onto a pitch which we were just saying is a lot bigger than they're used to playing on. I think there's been a couple of times they've had the ball and they've looked confident with it. I think at the moment, though, Cov are just really pressurising them, and Cov don't really want it. And we need to just step it up a gear, I think, lose a couple of mistakes, and we should be well on the way to a better performance.
Yeah, and George, what do you think the problem is at the moment for them? Is it psychological or just something a bit more subtle than that, just not quite clicking for them?
I genuinely think that Warwick just needs to have more possession. When we've had the ball, we have looked dangerous. When we've spread it wide, we have been able to hit gaps. When we were in the bottom corner and Matt Hall managed to drive over for a try, that was off the back of another maul originating from the winger, Alex Bjornsson, who did a brilliant piece of work to just stay on the field. I feel that Coventry are genuinely playing harder. It looks like they just want to break the gain line more. It looks like Warwick are sort of standing off tackles a bit. But then again, in the first 5 games this season, Warwick were losing 10 minutes till full time, and they came back and won. So it's still absolutely all to play for, and I still feel Warwick will come in and win this game.
Yeah, and what do you think Matt will be saying to the boys at half-time now? Do you think he'll just be trying to keep their heads in the game and make sure that they don't make any rash decisions?
Oh, absolutely. Matt Larovich even will be telling the boys just that they need to start controlling the game the way that they know they can. They really, really need to hold on to the ball, and they need to lose these stupid mistakes that they're making. They've made a couple of knock-ons off just silly errors, stupid passes that should never have been thrown. They should have taken it to the ground and let them ruck over and then secured the ball from there. It's just a matter of possession for my hand. Coventry have had more of the ball, and therefore they have more points.
And Megan, do you think it's a case that although Warwick have been bad, Coventry have been quite good out there and maybe the more consistent side, or do you think Warwick are maybe the architects of their own downfall out there at the moment?
I think Coventry have definitely put in a very consistent performance. They've let Warwick down, near their try line only a couple of times. I think we saw Warwick sort of settling a little bit in the last 10 minutes or so. Unfortunately, Will Towell got Simbin, which is a bit unfortunate. It gave Coventry a couple of opportunities with a bit of an overlap, but hopefully he'll be back on soon, and if with the sides equal, I think Warwick will settle down into their sort of game that we were starting to see at the end of that half and be able to really put out a competitive performance.
Yeah, and what sort of changes can we expect to see if the game stays as it is? Who can come on for Warwick and really make an impact, do you think, George? It's a lot of depth in the squad, isn't there?
We do have a lot of depth, and a lot of the people on the bench have been starting early this season. We have James Burnett to come in the front row. He is a really, really talented scrummager, and also the scrums have been fairly even in the first half. Matt Hall is also a very talented scrummager.
And a big character as well.
That is a big character. He has scored a try, but that is James Burnett's specialty, being able to pack down the scrum. We have got a lot of other heavy forwards coming on in the form of Byron Cabral and Cameron Lewis. And also we have got some incredibly quick backs to come on as well. Lucas Ragon is very heavy and very quick to come on at fullback, and Alex Evans is he's small and nippy and can break tackles and hits gaps really well as a winger. So we can expect lots of these players to come on and make a difference in the second half.
Absolutely, and in the race to win this rugby match, it seems that Coventry are in the lead at the moment, but another kind of race is the one that Warwick Motorsport are involved in. And earlier last term, I checked out their karting down at Wilton Mill.
Welcome to Raw Sports Spotlight for karting. We're down here in the heart of British motorsport in Northamptonshire. No, it's not Silverstone, it's Wilton Mill. This is going to be the best track day in the world.
Okay, so I'm here with Warwick Motorsport future president Callum Broad. Callum, first of all, thanks for the opportunity of letting us come down here and try out these karts. How did you get involved in Warwick Motorsport? What was your process in Warwick in getting involved, and how can other people get involved?
Well, I saw the club a couple of weeks before I came to uni, and sort of thought, I've been wanting to get back into karting for a while, so that seems like a pretty good way to do it. So yeah, I went to go see him at Freshers Fair and got involved since.
Tell us a bit about these cars that I'm going to be trying one. What do they like to drive, and what kind of specifications have they got? They're pretty quick, aren't they?
One's got about 20 horsepower, the other's got about 30, and yeah, they're pretty rapid. They pull about 2G through the corners and can get up to 70 miles an hour quite easily on the right gearing. So
yeah, and this is a driver development day, so anyone can in theory join a society and come down to one of these.
yeah, they can. Yeah, it's just the standard joining fees to join Warwick Sport, and then pay us your money. It's £50 at the minute, and it's totally worth it, because doing the equivalent sort of thing as this will give you will cost about upwards of £400 with a proper team.
Yeah.
So
my next question, I was going to ask if I can throw this out the back. Maybe not.
yeah, no.
No, maybe not for a Mario Kart reference there.
Yeah, I think the marshals might get a bit annoyed.
But I wasn't going to let one minor spin defeat me. Stealing my mind and focusing on the goal, ever so slightly, the lap times began to tumble. Never mind, I was being overtaken by the occasional 7-year-old. I was on good form. Calling on all of my video game acquired driving knowledge, I grew a spiritual understanding with the road. Nothing was going to stop me.
So the players are back out already at the Ricoh Arena for the second half. 13-5 was the score in the first half. Do we think they can get back into it, guys?
I definitely think they can. I want to see them be a bit more aggressive and really, really put Cov through their paces.
Oh, there's no question. Matt Larovich will strike the fear of God into their hearts. I can't see
Absolutely.
anything else than crushing it in the second.
Absolutely, and we'll go back to our commentators right now.
Hello, and you join us back for the second half. Warwick have kicked off, and it is broken down at the Ruck, and Coventry have the ball. A very, very quick turnaround there, Rob. A quick half-time period.
Yeah, caught me on the hop a bit, I must say. But
just enough time for both of us to go to the toilet and pop back. Of course, the two sides came back out onto the pitch to Darude Sandstorm. A huge tune.
I was loving it.
Really
class,
captivating the gravitas of this match as the Coventry fullback kicks out into touch for a Warwick line-out. Warwick already looking revitalised.
Yeah, much better.
a good kick down from Coventry, but I thought Joe Ackroyd, our fullback, covered well, and an excellent kick in behind the Coventry fullback. As a result, we've won that territorial kicking battle and have got a pretty well positioned line out in between their 10 metre line and 22. So a great platform, hopefully, to start a good attack and start the second half well, and as how we mean to go on.
Certainly. At this stage of the game, there haven't been any replacements thus far. No. Did you think there might be at half-time, a few changes?
Probably not. I think from Warwick's side of view, I mean, we've currently got a man in the Simbin as it is, so wait till we get our full complement back before making changes, and no need for Coventry to change anything. They're 10-5 up, deservedly so, being the better side thus far.
Certainly. As Warwick coming with the line out, Ed Wilkinson with another huge line out. There's a lot of movement, and Warwick goes short again. They've really mastered that short line out and pass it straight out to Kernick. The passing behind, and Coventry have turned over. A lovely improvised pass there, and Coventry getting the ball out, but dropped, and that may well have gone forward. Yes.
Bit of a let-off there for Warwick.
A massive let-off.
It was a good line-out, well claimed by Patrick Stuff. I think he's had a good game in that department so far. But then, as the ball came across, they effectively had one pass to many interception. Coventry got the ball and had a chance of a breakaway down the left-hand side. Fortunately, their pass wasn't quite there, around the player's ankles.
I suppose you can forgive them for that, though. It was such a quick move.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
they had to get the ball out as best they could.
But again, quite scrappy. Opening exchanges for this half. One side really needs to get on the front foot, assert themselves, and just play simple rugby.
Definitely. I mean, the next try will be very important because it would put Warwick back on level terms, but give Coventry a huge lead. Coventry have got the ball out, but the winger has been played behind and bundled out into touch there by our scrum half, George T-Boone, for a Warwick scrum, a Warwick line out, sorry.
Wow.
There's a bit of conversation between the line judge and the referee there, so they're going back for the scrum.
I'm really struggling to see. They had a bit of a discussion there.
The Warwick pack has gotten together having a little chat.
No, it's a line out. So hopefully, just like the one earlier in this half, it'll be a good clean take and a good start to set up some phase play for Warwick.
We can see Lavrovich calling the line out from the back, and he's doing it very, very well as Warwick keep hold of the ball. A little bit scrappy
there, but that's okay. Good carry there, pick and go from Ed Wilkinson, the hooker. Made good yards there, hard yards.
Another great run in here. Playing the ball back. Warwick's forwards, gaining some territory.
From worked out their way, now almost to the halfway line.
George T-Boone back in behind and decides to go out to Kernick, who plays the ball out. Toby Osei, the dummy runner, as Harvey carries and goes through the middle. Stopped only just by the Coventry players, and he wriggles his way to the halfway line. T-Boone back out again to Kernick. Decides not to kick after feinting and gets tackled there after a quick run, but the offload comes.
Looks like turnover, Coventry ball there.
We'll have to see what happens at the end of this.
Yeah,
right, the Coventry have turned over the ball. Very, very disappointing. And the quick kick and go there into the space. Who's going to mate it? The fullback, and with a little dummy pass and round the man. Very, very impressive work there from the fullback under pressure.
Yeah, very good. A lovely step, kept his head well, and then presented the ball well once he got tackled.
A nice throw to Bjornsson, who like a battering ram clashes into the Coventry player. Warwick with a greater fluidity to their play at the moment. Harvey, shoulder charging in.
Wilkinson there, the hooker. He's had a fantastic start to the half, Ed Wilkinson, really getting about the park well.
Warwick are being very, very physical so far in this second half.
Yeah, that's excellent.
That has earned them a penalty.
That's good. Ed Wilkinson's had an incredible start this half. 2 superb line-out throws, and 1 excellent carry a minute ago, and there again, smashed through the first tackle, made good yards, and from that we've got a penalty, and looks like Harry Kernick's going to kick to the corner.
It's in the middle of the pitch, so let's hope that we get the ground on it at the distance, easily made, but not the best accuracy. We're still not in their 22, which is a shame. That could have been a real opportunity to put some pressure in for the line out.
He had a good angle to really go right to the corner, but still, at least he's made touch, and we got a good line-out platform, and we're back to our full complement of players now.
Will Tile back on for the line-out, our tallest player in the team. Hopefully, can help us out.
Yeah, so that's important. Back to our full complement means we've got much better chance of getting in front.
And Warwick have gone short again. Is there a risk that if they keep doing that, Coventry will work out their game plan.
Yeah, and the issue with going short is it means less chance of rolling more because you're near the touchline, so it's easier for the opposition to defend.
Very true. As the chants of Warwick sound around the stadium, the Warwick students are getting behind their rugby team, and it is pushing them forward to the try line at the breakdown. Warwick still mauling away as they get closer and closer. T-Boone recycles. Oh, a huge run in there. The Coventry man, resilient, and the ball I think might have been lost forward. Oh, or are Warwick pushing over the try line? Just on the outside. There might be one final push over the line here.
Place, pick and go rugby from Warwick here. Very impressive stuff.
The final charge.
Making good yards, recycling the ball well.
T-Boone's played it out, and the maul is formed. It's very unclear where we are, but the try has been given, and the Warwick crowd are on their feet. Very, very good rugby there.
That's a real try for the Warwick forwards there. They've won that line out and just picked and go all the way up the try line, and eventually got over. Those forwards can be really proud of themselves. That was superb rugby, and good signs for the rest of the game. If our forwards are starting to get the eggs, both at set piece time and under the breakdown,
definitely
it can only be up from
here.
Well,
that's our second try by the forwards after the first one from the original line out. So,
and I guess that's no surprise. A lot of our most experienced players, there obviously the captain Matt Lavrovic, but also guys like Patrick Stuff, Chris Orford as well, Alex Fulwell,
Matt Hall, a fourth year. He'll have played in 3 varsities previous. It's experienced heads like that you want as the crowd get raucous for Koenig's kick, which is just wide again. He's had the distance so far tonight, but not the accuracy. That's a real shame.
Yeah. It looks like George T-Boone kicking out the scrum half. But yeah, shame we've missed that because it's 10-all. We've got those kicks, so we'll be 14-10 up.
Very true. But level scores, and I think Warwick looked the most confident going forwards.
Exactly. We've been down to 14 men for quite a long time, back to our full complement, scored immediately. That's got to be a big psychological blow from Coventry's point of view. They've been a man up for quite a long time, and ultimately just haven't made it count on the scoreboard as much as they probably needed to.
Certainly, as the ball is flung from side to side, no one can quite get it back to the middle.
Looks like we've made a replacement as well. Lewis Yule seems to have come off.
The winger Lewis Yule, probably Alex Evans,
I believe
we'd imagine come on as a winger on the replacements bench. Alex Evans' strong point tackling on the wing will be key because Coventry have looked to play it out wide and get men over, so having a resilient back line will be important as the ball is taken well by our number 8 Alex Fulwell and played out. A bounding run now.
Fantastic break
from our number 6, looking for but Warwick have kept hold of the ball after. What's the referee called there?
It ended up being full pass and knock on both in that instance. That was a great break from Antoine Cornet, a straight up tackle missed by the Coventry player. He made the most of it, a great break, taking the ball up into the Coventry half. So although we've lost the ball, superb from him, and encouraging signs as they start to slip off tackles.
Certainly, it seems fatigue might have kicked in a bit for the Coventry players as the scrum on the halfway line takes place. Coventry with the put in.
It's been a different game so far the second half. Warwick looked far superior, far more confident, far more comfortable, just the better side all in all, which is good to see. There's clearly been something's been said at half time because they've come out much improved.
Is it an interesting defensive line to see Alex Bjornsson so far deep, so much deeper off the line?
I imagine that's to defend from the kicking. I'm imagining that Coventry have kicked quite a lot to the corners thus far.
Yeah, and they'll be aware of the fullback's ability to kick as well.
Advantage to Coventry here.
That's a shame as they retain the ball.
I think it was
Coventry
offside.
played the ball out there. It's deep. Coventry probably looking to kick there, but Warwick line up on them very, very quickly, but it's going to come back for the advantage. They had the benefit there of being able to lose out and get the penalty.
Penalty for offside. I mean, Warwick really trying to get up as quickly as possible, but particularly around the fringes of that ruck. Just up too quickly in front of the back foot of the ruck, and so penalty's been rightly awarded.
And we'll have to see.
I think the rest had a good game so far. I thought the yellow card to Will Tull was harsh, but aside from that, I think he's been pretty fair. Let the game flow. He's had a good game. So good chance here, line-out wise. The score 10-all at the moment. Good chance Coventry to get a try and get back up in the lead.
Certainly, it's quite an important stage of the game, really. Do you think the next try scorer will be the team that wins the game in such a low-scoring game so far?
Long way to go still.
Do you think the game will open up as we get on with Coventry winning the penalty? And a bit of argy-bargy there. The Coventry man pulling our player out. Coventry's hooker there trying to calm things down. Our captain, Lavrovic, having a word with the referee. Just trying to cool things down.
Yeah,
what do you think the referee will be saying to Lavrovic at the minute?
Just, I think, because watch your discipline. We have given away a few penalties. It's the second one for offside by the looks of things. That one will in at the ruck. So we're giving away some scrappy penalties in and around the breakdown. I think the refs had enough. Cov going for the corner now. Great chance for a catch and drive try, similar to the one that Warwick scored in that corner. They'll be hoping for.
In exactly the same place. Whether they use the same tactics and go short, the line out will be interesting.
Yeah. Tough for Warwick here. It's so hard to defend these if they got right. So
this will be very important for Patrick Stuff and Will Toole to be on this and try their best to disrupt Coventry from the line out.
Yeah, it's an interesting balance of play here at 10-0. Warwick has started this half so well, but Coventry now just again getting that territory, getting deep in our half, and a great platform now from this set piece to see if they can score.
As Coventry throw the ball in, they have gone short and they've set up a maul as we expected, and they are bounding over the try line. This is very dangerous for Warwick, and they have fallen. Perfect. And that is the try. Surely Warwick should have seen that try happening, Rob.
Yeah, well, there's also, as I said, there's not much you can do about it. I mean, that was
there was minimal resistance though against the maul.
Coventry timed that perfectly. Superb save from the hooker. The line-out was taken as high as he can, and the moment his feet have touched the floor, all the forwards set together, drive through. Warwick had decided to contest it and try and win the ball rather than just focus on stopping them all. And ultimately, that was an emphatic drive over the line.
In very similar fashion that we saw in the first half.
That's what second rolling maul try in that same corner of this game. They're back in front, 15-10 now.
And it's going to be a very, very tricky kick to try and make it 17-10 to Coventry for the Coventry fly half. Over in the corner, the fans right behind him, half of them shouting his name, half of them slagging him off. Whether he'll be able to convert, it's probably quite important due to the lack of conversions we've seen in this
tough
match
kick again,
so far. Another tough kick, and it looks as if he's got the distance, but again, not the accuracy.
Pushed it to the right. It is.
In similar fashion to what we saw from
I think that's 5 kicks now missed across the two sides.
Do you think the size of the pitch is playing a part in the lack of accuracy from kickers?
Yeah, I think so, because there's been quite a few in the corners, but if you have a really top goal kick, it does make a big difference, and neither side quite seem to have that.
A very rare sight now. The Warwick Waterboy appears to be wearing a blazer and chinos. Not the normal kit of a 16th man, I'm sure.
No, but looks very smart, certainly. I do like that look.
The white shoes only adds to the outfit as Warwick kick off and apply the pressure straight away. They've got to the ball very quickly there.
Excellent kick and excellent chase from Warwick.
And a very strange pass, loopy pass out from the scrum half, but the kick has gone deep. And has that touched the Warwick player who's kept the ball on?
He's gone out.
The lineman decided not to get it, but the Warwick player was clearly out of play.
He was. We've got very lucky there. Unsurprisingly, Coventry are fuming, and the lineman's telling them to stop having a word with him. But that was a mistake from the linesman. A wonderful kick, just misjudged by the Warwick player, and actually just collected that ball. He has had his foot on the line, which is in touch.
I think there was 2 incidences. It might have gone out there. It might have gone out originally, and then he picked it up whilst in touch.
So we've got away with that one. But the penalties, we've kicked into touch, moving into their half. Really important that Warwick, they started this half so well to get back level at 10-all, but now find themselves 15-10 behind again. Important how we respond. Line-up's been functioning pretty well, so let's hope for another clean ball and try to get our backs in the game a bit more. Haven't seen the likes of Toby Osey with the ball in space at all as of yet.
Indeed, as Ed Wilkinson delivers a very good throw yet again. Contrary to some of his peers' comments on his throwing ability, he has been solid today, and the maul work of setup is working effectively as the men pile in and over the back line. in their slanted fashion, ready to run onto the ball, waiting for T-Born to release it to them. It might be an idea to get it out now with men over, but the ball continues to drive forwards.
It's been a pretty good maul they've made. You know, the line-out was around the halfway line. We're nearly at their 22 now. It's slowly rumbled forward. Excellent play from the Warwick forwards again. They've really had the edge so far this half.
The driving needs to keep going. Lavrovic, Wilkinson and Hall continuing to drive.
And it's now broken down the maul.
And the ball, a quick pick up and carry. I think he's maintained possession there. I think there's another maul set up.
Yeah, it's all getting very scrappy, and in the end, a Coventry player playing the ball with his hands on the floor. Penalty to Warwick. I imagine we're going to kick for the corner here.
The chance of let's go Warwick, let's go, sounding around the stadium.
Yeah, a couple of security guards in the middle of the crowd there, so clearly some heated words between Coventry and Warwick Uni fans. Someone's being led away.
Is it a good idea to have Coventry and Warwick fans in the same
same
seating area?
It is rugby, you know, fans should get along pretty well. I guess it looks like one troublemaker, and the security guards have dealt with him appropriately.
All five security guards.
Yeah, it's obviously a big bloke.
Very impressive unit, and he's continuing to give it. There are jeering over at the other side of the stadium, but back to the rugby, and Warwick have got the ball at the breakdown, very near to the try line. This is a very, very big passage play, and they may have pushed over. They're very, very close. Can they get the ball out and maybe another pick up and drive?
Warwick forwards again, picking, going around the fringes, doing
well
it very well.
Pushing back, but they may be pushing over now. Have they got the ball down? There's hands in the air.
Held up, it looks like.
It may have been held up. Can we go to TMO? Is that possible?
Don't think so, sadly, here. But that was, again, excellent play from Warwick. The forwards are very good at that, picking, going round the fringes of the ruck, supporting men well, making small yards, 1 yard, 2 yards at a time, and retaining possession. Matt Lavrovic coming pretty close there, but alas being held up just over the line. But a 5 metre scrum now for us, where we've got a fantastic chance to get over the line.
Indeed, we've got Bjornsson on the blind side in a very heavy open side attacking lineup.
Imagine a training ground move here.
Let's hope we see one, rather like Coventry did in the first half, to no avail. An important scrum for Warwick, which the scrum has been faultless so far for the University.
Yeah. There was one time we gave it against the head, but I think the ball just spewed out by chance out of one side. Otherwise, I think the scrum's generally been pretty clean, unlike the professional game where we see it's so often blighted by scrums. Here, I think they've just been well contested and fairly contested.
Well, I think it's fair to say, by the sound of the crowd, that Warwick have definitely got the majority of the crowd population, which is very impressive, obviously playing in Coventry's backyard.
We've cursed them there, mate.
We've cursed them as Coventry. The curse of the commentator as Coventry win the penalty.
Yeah. From where we're sitting, it's quite hard to see what happened to that scrum, I must say.
We didn't manage to find a telescope or binoculars at the break, unfortunately.
Opposite side from us, but this looked like one of the Warwick props probably boring in, and that's why the penalty's been given.
And a kick out there, just to the 22. This is still a place where Warwick can apply the pressure. They need to make sure that the territory isn't changed over and they can stay in the Coventry half for a while and maintain applied pressure, really, like Coventry did in the first half.
Yeah, when a game of this level, both teams are going to make mistakes. And so if you're playing the rugby in their half, I've said it time and time again today, chances will come. And so, although we don't have the ball, the fact that Coventry are camped in their own 22 is just where we want them to be from a Warwick point of view.
Coventry keep hold of the ball there from the line out, but Warwick's maul working well, keeping them stationary. There's no drive on. They may want to get rid of it, but the kick comes from their scrum half, met very well, and out to our number 11 Lewis Yule, who dummies, but there's no outside runner and the Coventry attackers are on. But Bjornsson doing well, running slightly around the back of his fellow attacking players. But we've resurfaced now in a ruck, and Warwick kept hold of the ball. Koenig with a little grubber kick. Not much running on, and the fullback deals with that well. And a big kick back down the pitch over the head of our fly half,
Koenig filling in.
Who goes for another kick. Not too much distance, but a difficult bounce there for the Coventry player. Warwick need to get up on this a bit quicker. It's becoming a bit of a kicking game. A very, very nice take from our scrum half, T-Bone. He goes for the little up and under. Well taken again and played out by the Coventry players to the middle. A big kick out towards the commentators. Over the head of our number 8. Or rather Cornet, our flanker, who is bundled to the ground.
Yeah,
Warwick quick.
Good kicking battle there.
Nice to see.
Yeah, if he goes on too long, can become a little bit dull.
A little bit piggy in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. But I think both sides are realising how important territory is.
Oh,
and therefore, that was a lovely step from Harry Kernick.
Harry Kernick with a quite beautiful.
There's a step inside, given out to the inside centre, Will Harvey. That's what he's capable of. He hasn't done enough of that for me so far in this game, but that was good to see.
That just shows what Kernick can do with time on the ball as Warwick blasts forward. T-Bone, a stray pass there, but Warwick managed to keep hold of it. The ball did not go forwards, and it's recycled at the ruck. Just settling things as Warwick move forwards. A very good pick and go there from Lavrovic. And again, Warwick driving very, very well indeed, and a huge drive and a very well defended by Coventry.
Yeah,
stopping the bulldozer.
This is good again from Warwick. They do like to keep it with their forwards, and I think it's a good tactic. They don't look like losing the ball a lot of the time and make consistent yards.
Definitely. I think it allows the pack to stay with the ruck as well. We've seen a lot of breakdowns with the forwards not being able to keep up with play.
Yeah, indeed.
It means, greater ball security.
Like might be a turnover there from Coventry. Again, I've cursed them.
We should really stop complimenting our players. But no, the ball is free again, and Warwick have won it back, I think.
A very scrappy rugby from both sides, dropping the ball there when taking it into
and
the
ruck. Ball is out to
Stuff there carrying forward the second row. A good carry, strong carry from him.
And Warwick have won the penalty. Very well done. As Rob taps the concrete in head of him, he's very, very happy with that.
Yeah, that was good play again. Just a strong carry, well supported, and it's forced Coventry into giving away a silly penalty at the breakdown.
Definitely. And Kernick has gone for the corner. He hasn't quite made it. The accuracy was there, but the distance, not quite. And Coventry kicked the ball away, but they haven't found touch either. A wonderful take by the Warwick winger.
He was really going right for the corner that time, but didn't find it. And that's a bad error, really.
And that has been a constant theme in the game. Neither team finding touch on multiple occasions as Warwick had the ball at the ruck with men over, it has to be said. And running down the wing now, I think it's
just did a touch.
And a potentially more vigilant line judge over on that side has spotted that Will Harvey has stepped out of play, unfortunately.
That was lovely play from Warwick. A nice blindside. I mean, almost akin to the try England scored in the 2003 World Cup final. And it's supposed to move out, then inside ball, and then back out to the player on the wing.
Was that Jason Robinson?
Touch, yes, it was.
I remember that. Is that potentially the try where he jumped in and then jumped up and then just palmed the ball away?
Yeah.
The iconic moment.
Yeah, one of those, that and the drop goal, the two iconic moments from that famous triumph.
Certainly. Warwick
actually was our penalty advantage in the end. Coventry offside. Kernick knocked into the corner this time, found touch, and we've got 5 metres out, line out.
This is
a
set
great
piece
opportunity for another driving ball try. We've already scored one as of Coventry, so let's see if we can score another. I really think our forwards have got the edge in this game. We are better there, particularly in that front five. Guys like Lavrovic, Wilkinson, Stuff, Cornet leading the way.
And Warwick decides to go long with that, but they've started up the maul further over, and it's an unstoppable force, and they've driven over the line, I think. Is the ball down? And the try has been given! Very, very exciting as the crowd goes wild, and that puts Warwick on level terms. The score is 15-all, and if Kernick, T-Boone has been taking the kick so far. George Golden Boots T-Boone can score from the conversion. Warwick will be winning 17-15 as Chelsea Dagger sounds around the Ricoh Arena.
Brilliant. Again, it's another driving ball try. Wonderfully executed. Went to the back. We've been told that Ed Wilkinson is not known for his throwing, but another perfect throw. Found his jumper at the back of the line out. And once you've thrown it that deep, you're perfectly set up for the driving maul because you're further away from touch, got more space to work with, and we charged over the line emphatically. Wonderful play, particularly from our forwards and especially our front five.
And now T-Boon's here with the conversion. A very, very big moment in the game. This will put Warwick into the lead for the, well, not the first time in the game, but the first time in a long while. He goes for the kick. And it's good! A wonderful kick from George T-Boon, putting Warwick into the lead. The score is 17-15, and the Warwick crowd is going mad.
Brilliant, really good. I think it's been much better second half from both sides, but particularly Warwick. They look far more comfortable. I really hope they push on and win now.
It's now going to be a real test, though, for Warwick to remain resilient and ensure they don't concede again with about 15 minutes left to play.
Yeah, indeed.
Coventry with a very high kick, giving their runners a chance to pick it up, but Warwick have caught the ball, and the ball luckily went backwards after the drop. T-Boon quick to the breakdown. And number 8 there, Alex Folwell, with a nice little carry and holding the ball. Koenig out wide, a risky pass, but very well improvised there. And they've got one man spare over.
He's an unbelievable second half. That was a very risky pass from Harry Koenig, but Ed Wilkinson saved it with a lovely tap back to Will Harvey, the inside centre.
Certainly, but then as we speak, there has been a knock-on from Lewis Yule on the wing, and that will go back for a Coventry scrum on the far side of the pitch.
Good that. I mean, there's a good kick-off and well chased from Coventry. We did well to recycle the ball, and then off the base of that first rut, really important to get a good carry in. I believe it was number 6, Antoine Cornet, who took it up near the halfway line.
He's been carrying well.
Yeah, I think our forwards, particularly in the second half, have really started to carry much better. Because rugby's all about momentum, and when you really get on the front foot, making yards, getting over the gain line, gives you a great platform from which to attack.
I mean, talking about Cornet, we have heard here that his very best attribute is his ability to create something from nothing. Yeah. And that's really an outlet that Warwick have been using well today.
And you can see his confidence. He held the ball in one hand going into contact, which shows he's looking to offload, and clearly backs himself in that great scrum from Coventry there, penalty.
That's disappointing.
Just too much pressure applied on the Warwick forwards. A good tight shove from Coventry boys. And
Coventry will be going for the corner on this kick.
Yeah.
Potentially for another try manoeuvre.
Scrum wheeled, penalty Coventry, and
not the strongest kick. He hasn't quite found the corner there. It's much closer up to the 22.
But still a good position. Easy to go for another driving maul. Could it be a 4th try we see from either side for that? Or use their backs out wide.
Definitely. And I mean, looking down, we've still got a lot of replacements on the bench. We've got James Burnett, Cameron Lewis, Byron Cabral, Chris Cole, who of course has his very own show on Raw. His very best attribute is his radio voice, so maybe we'll have him up in the commentary box sometime soon. Ed Boxall, the centre, Alex Evans and Lucas Rygon as Coventry play the ball out. Warwick have been resilient in defence though, but he stayed on his feet, trying to start the ball, but we brought him down to his feet, to the ground. A big Coventry lad there.
Good carry, good physicality. Second half, there seems to be bigger hits and general better carrying from the forwards. The forwards particularly have grown into this game that's gone on both sides.
A low pass there, very well taken by Coventry player. He rides one tackle and the offload, not quite carried. And Lavrovich with a lovely pickup, a great interception. He had the composure there to pick that up. A very weak pass out to Harry Koenig. But the kick is being challenged by Bjornsson, who picks it up very well but is bundled into touch. But that was really, really good work from him there to try and get hold of the ball. Good tenacity from Bjornsson on the wing, who is probably frustrated not to be able to get into the game more so far.
Yeah, I think all the outside players will feel that. I believe it's Alex Evans who's coming on the wing for us for Yule, and he's hardly got the ball at all. So I think as the game gets closer and closer, and it's only 2 points in it, it's 17-15 to Warwick at the moment, and we've only got just over 10 minutes left. You expect those wide players to get less of the ball as teams are scared to spread the play because they don't want to make a mistake.
And Warwick with the turnover there, very well worked there by our scrum cact number 5. That was Will Toole. Great work. He was missed
using his 7'6", 6'7" even, not 7'6". His frame there, getting.
But he does appear 7'6" from up here.
He is a very tall bloke.
Well kept on there, but being brought back for the Coventry play. I mean, obviously looking at the scoreline, 17-15, there is just a penalty in it, potentially even a drop goal. We were discussing the World Cup earlier. Could that be an eventuality in the final of the game? Only time will tell. As one of the Warwick players is down, potentially with cramp.
Looks that way.
Our lad is helping him up there.
Coventry got a good chance here from this scrum just inside our half. Interesting to see if they do try and go for set move, use their outside backs, or whether they look to do what Warwick have done, particularly in this second half. Keep it with the forwards, carry out with the 8, and then pick and go with their forwards. It's been a great battle. Second half, the standard's been noticeably better, and it's proved to be a really classic game of rugby.
Really has, and a lot closer. Do you think that's because Warwick have worn their way into the game slowly?
I think so, and I think the yellow card, the timing of it as well. Warwick seems to be getting into the game at that point, but it just held them back a bit. But now they're back to their full complement. It's been a more even contest and a more exciting and better quality one as a result.
Coventry getting the ball out of the scrum now and playing wide. Oh, but a very loose pass, and can Warwick be first onto it? No, the Coventry man dives and does very well, getting back up and running at the Warwick defence. And they have just about rucked over well there to secure the ball. Passing out again. The fly half eager to cut inside every time he gets the ball.
Not getting over the game line at all here.
Here we go, and the ball's gone out. The winger with a bit of space to run into, but Warwick closing down very well there. Stopped him from making any ground, and the ruck over has been very successful. Warwick may have won the ball back.
Oh no, well, good counter up from Coventry in the end to keep hold of possession.
It's unfortunate, but that's the sort of intent we want to see from
Warwick.
Warwick.
Good offload from their prop as he carried there.
Very unorthodox play here from Coventry, but it's working as they get the ball out. Their winger's running out. Bjornson's trying to catch back at him. Get a little grubber kick, but no, the linesman or the referee has pulled it back
for a penalty. I think
Coventry
that might be
penalty.
May well be offside again. Warwick have got tremendous line speed, really admirable, getting right up, giving Coventry as little room as possible.
Is that a peculiar decision from the referee?
No, I think that was fair. It's great to see. It doesn't happen enough in professional rugby, actually, that the stricter you are on offside, the more space there is for the attacking side to run with the ball, and the better rugby we see. And instantly they're going for goal, trying to take the lead here.
Going for goal. This will obviously bring Coventry to a lead of 18-17 as the Warwick boys run back behind the post. It's going to be, what's about, how many yards are we thinking? About 35 yards?
Yeah.
From there. It's a long kick. It'll be the longest kick we've seen in this game so far.
But it's slap in front of the post though, so as long as he's got the distance, accuracy shouldn't be a problem. And it's Warwick feel a little bit hard done by there, and so far as excellent defence. Their line speed has been excellent, really shutting down Coventry. Just a little bit too over eager there, almost as a collective. Something they need to watch going into these final minutes. But there's still time if Coventry get this for them to turn it around for sure.
Very true. As boos ring around the stadium.
I don't like to see that, Niall.
Do you think respect should be shown by the crowd to the players?
It's just not cricket, as I'd say.
It's just not cricket, and it's certainly not rugby. As he runs up, it's got the distance, but it doesn't have the accuracy. Very, very disappointing, but from a Warwick point of view, a very, very lucky moment. Rob, should he have definitely scored that?
Oh yeah,
You're saying before the distance was the real question.
Yeah, no, well, perhaps because he tried to get that distance, that it's almost the opportunity cost is you lose your accuracy.
Very true.
And that's what's happened there. Need a good kick from Koenig here, clear our lines.
Koenig's gone wide. There's definitely a chase on here. Good composure from the ball down from the Coventry man. As Warwick first to the ruck. And doing a good job being a thorn in Coventry side as ever. A fine tackle there.
A lovely offload from the Coventry forward who carried it up there, out the back of the hands, kept the ball alive. Good to see.
With about 10 minutes remaining, Coventry pushing to try and get back into the game. 18-15 to Warwick as it stands at the minute, but very, very close. 17-15, sorry. But it could still go either way this game as Coventry run forward. But a double tackle from Toby Osei and the number 11, I think, Lewis Yule. Still very tight down there. Warwick very quick to the breakdown, but Coventry being very strong. A poor throw out there, but well gathered. And they evade a man. Oh, and a huge tackle there, but the offload is on. There was a man out there, but Warwick's defence being very, very solid.
Patrick Stuff came flying up in the line. When you do that, you've got to get it. And indeed, he was offside, in fact. It's the second time we've given a penalty like that away in a matter of minutes.
That's very disappointing. Will that be a scrum?
Indeed, he's going to chat down. It's a yellow card.
A yellow card for...
No, not...
Who's been yellow carded there?
Looks like, I think it was actually the second row. I think the number's wrong on our sheet. It looks like Byron Cabral to me.
It's very difficult to say.
I believe it is.
Number 19, probably Byron Cabral there. He'll be very disappointed.
Yeah.
His involvement in the match so far hasn't been too long.
Yeah, he's literally just come on, and
is that a bit unfair? There's been no previous offences.
Well, but it's as a team, he's had to take the hit for the team. Our penalty count has been high, been ultimately killing the game slightly with offsides, and so we're down for the second time in this game.
In the meantime,
indeed it was Byron Cabral.
In the meantime, I think James Burnett has come on, a new prop into the line-out, number 16, wearing the red scrum cap.
Yeah, so hopefully he can make an impact, but with Big Arts now down to 14 again.
It's going to be back to the wall defending, I think, from Warwick from here on in. But they've done well from the line-out. And the defensive line is pushed up from Warwick.
And it's advantage again for us trying to stop them all illegally coming in at the side.
As it pushes on well. The ball seems to be out, but they've continued to maul, and there's not very many Warwick men back. Warwick need to regroup, get back in behind. As Coventry play the ball back, he looks for the rat in the middle.
Great offload.
They've got to stop him, and Coventry have scored the try, breaking through the middle.
Inside centre for Coventry scored there.
The inside centre breaking through a couple of tackles.
Yeah, lovely rugby from their fly half. He's run the line at a great angle, being tackled slightly high actually by Kernick on him, and then a lovely little offload into the inside centre. He scores good by the post. With us down to 14. And then now, presumably, I expect them to get this kick, given it's pretty straightforward.
You can't help but think Byron Cabral will be gutted with himself. Be gutted with what's happened on the bench.
And that's cost us those 2 yellow cards. The first one's quite harsh. That one, I think the rest just got impatient with us, the amount of penalties they're giving away. Yeah, if they get this, we're 5 points down with not that long left, down to 14. It's going to be an uphill struggle from here for our boys.
We're going to really have to look for the try from here on in, and Coventry will know that. But as we've seen today, there is by no means 100% certainty that this kick will go over. The kicking has been very inconsistent, but a relatively easy kick, just to the right of the posts. But no!
Unbelievable.
Unbelievably, he's just kicked it too flat. He's made a poor contact.
I think it's a new kicker by the look of things. That's a bad miss. Just kept it. Hasn't even got it above the bar. A rudimentary
a very poor miss, and obviously that's given the Warwick the advantage of just having to score a penalty.
Yeah, 2017 to Cov now, last couple of minutes.
And it looks like there will be no crowd invasion at the end of this game. Who knows? Maybe people won't mind facing prosecution. We don't know how nutty these ultra Warwick fans are. As the Warwick fullback tries to volley the ball, but now the Coventry man might be through.
Penalty,
but a wonderful tackle.
We got a penalty. That was
very fortunate there.
Yeah, another lovely kick from Coventry. I think their kicking out of hand's been better than ours. I think it's been somewhere where they've had the upper hand.
Was that quite an immature manoeuvre there by the Warwick player?
Yeah,
or was he just desperation more than anything?
Yeah, kick it back. We got lucky because in the end, Coventry player tackled our man off the ball, so that's where the penalty came. But it's just a very good kick and a very good chase again, and difficult to respond under that kind of pressure.
Now a big kick here from Harry Kernick, who finds touch easily and has got a bit of a distance. We're over the halfway line, we're into the Coventry half, and Warwick needs to push forward now. We do not want to lose this final match of Varsity.
Yeah, and I think for the boys as well, thankfully, as we've already said, Varsity's won, but in terms of the league pushing for promotion, this is a must-win game, just in terms of the statement it sends out to everyone else in the league. So a big final few minutes here, but not helped by the fact, sadly, that Byron Cabral is in the sin bin and we're down to 14 again.
Certainly, and Warwick have won the short line out very well there and want to look to maul straight away, which is obviously a very clever move. It's what's been successful for them throughout the whole match, Rob.
Yeah, indeed. The only downside of that, of course, is they've only got 7 in the pack. But I can see the scrum half team being beckoning players to get involved, keep driving forward, and they've made some great yardage here. Up past 10 metre line towards the 22.
There's approximately 5 minutes to go in this game. Warwick still pushing. They need a penalty, they need a try, they need something to get back into this game. I'm not sure Byron Cabral will join us back on the pitch. I'm not sure there'll be enough time for him to serve out his sin bin. As Warwick earned the penalty in a very, very good position. Could this potentially be a moment?
Is he calling someone over? I mean, I feel I've praised the ref already, but I think he's sent a couple of Warwick players for consistent infringement. And
we see that consistency from the referee.
14v14 now as the Coventry player goes off. He's giving yellow cards for us coming in at the side and being offside. I'm pleased to see he's being fair to both sides.
And Warwick have kicked for touch.
Good for the referee, good decision. They got a prop off, so here we are.
Pretty clever move to kick for touch, seeing as it's now 14 on 14. We can try and use the pack to push over as Coventry have done.
That was a very tough kick. You know, most professional fly halves probably be missing that one. So.
And Warwick have gone short and won it again. Wonderful throwing from Ed Wilkinson as the pack drives forward. Shouts have come on from behind us. The crowd are getting behind them. It's come to a bit of a standstill as the maul turns, but Warwick still have possession of the ball as it collapses.
That down again illegally, advantage
Illegal
Warwick.
Collapse, and Warwick have the advantage. The referee is pulling. Can the ball get out of the maul? He's blown his whistle.
I think Warwick have got to do same again. Into the corner. Can we get
into the corner?
Can we get a hat?
Oh, they've taken it quickly. Can the Warwick pack get over? It's going to be very, very tight. No mistakes can be made now.
First go over here. And
it may be a try. He may have jumped over. We're waiting to hear from the referee, waiting to hear confirmation. It may have been held up.
I think it's going to be held up. Scrum 5 to Warwick by the looks of things.
But great attacking endeavour there by the Warwick lineup. Obviously, it's in the far corner from us. It's very difficult to see.
Yeah, all the action's been down that end, really, hasn't it? Well,
exactly, in both halves of the game, really. Coventry up in the first, Warwick definitely dominating the second half of proceedings. And it looks to have been brought back for a 5 metre scrum.
5 metre scrum. So great, really important. They've got a prop in the bin. So I don't know if they're going to have to bring on a new prop and take someone else off from elsewhere.
Do you think it's worth the Warwick playing out from the scrum, getting the backs involved?
I don't know, quite risky at this stage. I think the forwards have been so dominant in the second half, perhaps a little bit negative, but I think a good carry from the number 8, Alex Fulwell, and then see if the other guys like Chris Alford, who we haven't talked a lot about, but he's been very good getting to the breakdown, doing a lot of that dirty work.
Turnovers are a speciality, of course.
Yeah, and so I'd keep it tight with the forwards, pick and go, like we saw with our first try in this second half.
Warwick with their attacking line out there. Toby Osei, Lewis Yule, Harry Kernick all ready to receive the ball if need be. Alex Bjornsson isn't blindside. He's gone out to the far side. There is certainly men over for Warwick at the minute if they do choose to go wide. The fullback has decided not to join the line. I suppose a precaution.
Great shot from Warwick.
Is pushing over. Oh, and Coventry have turned over and kicked the ball out.
Remarkable that. I mean, hard to quite, as in we're quite far away.
The Coventry bench was jumping up and down there. They thought it was full time, but as the referee pulled it back.
Well, because what happened there? Great shot from Warwick. Really seemed to be moving forward, but the ball unfortunately didn't get hooked back and squirmed into the hands of the Coventry players.
Very much at time. A huge moment for Ed Wilkinson here.
5 metres.
It's a short one. It's gone short, and the maul is on. Can Warwick push over? They need to drive. Keep driving, boys. Here we go. Over they go. Shout to drive. They're moving forward. They're gaining momentum.
All the players.
They just need the ball over the line. Every single 14 of the players have gone into the maul. As the ball dropped.
It's gone
out. See, it seems to have been a turnover perhaps in play.
It's just been tackled. Bjornsson out on the right.
Warwick is still on the ball. They need a line. They need to get in the line. A pick up and goes. Looks like it's going to happen here.
Danger being held up here. This is the problem for Warwick. Not long left on the clock either.
We're right at the end now, and Coventry is back to the walls defending here as the ball goes out. Has he slid over? And Warwick has scored a try!
Fantastic!
The crowd is going wild! Warwick had a try in the dying moments of the game!
Last play, fantastic from Warwick there. The forwards again, pick and go.
Unbelievable tenacity!
The Coventry players have screwed all over the floor. They're gutted. What effort they've put in.
That was a team performance, that try. Every single one of them involved in the maul.
They threw all their eggs in one basket and it's paid off for them. And indeed, one Whopper is invaded the pitch. I imagine he'll be taken off in a second.
We've got a pitch invasion. The security man is walking over to him. He's not bothered. A second try for Ed Wilkinson.
He's had an incredible second half. He's been my man of the match for Warwick, certainly in this second half. Carried consistently. Line-up's been excellent. Scrum's been very good. Deserved that try right at the end.
I'm going to have to agree with you. Ed Wilkinson has been superb today. And the Warwick crowd have been bouncing up and down. And now, for the moment, George T-Boone, the cherry on the cake if he can get this over and through the post. He goes for the kick, and it's just wide to the left, as ever distance. But I think the referee might be blowing up for full time. And the Warwick extras are driving onto the pitch in their masses. A huge huddle. has developed in the middle of the pitch, and we are now going over to Henry. Oh, we are going to be joined by Henry Riley very shortly, but at the moment the players are shaking hands. There's a certain level of camaraderie towards the end. They both worked very, very hard.
That was a fantastic game of rugby from both sides. Bit of indiscipline. The ref was quite harsh. We had 3 yellow cards, but some great rugby. Quite forward orientated, dominated. You know, a few rolling maul tries, that kind of thing. But really well contested game, fairly contested game, and Warwick have narrowly come on top 22-20. But I've really, really enjoyed that. Well done to both sides, but particularly to Warwick.
And that was quite a remarkable match. 22-20 to finish off. A great performance from Warwick and a wonderful way to end Varsity 2016. We're now crossing over to our head of sports, Tim Arstle, back in the studio.
Well, how about that? An absolutely breathless finish to Varsity 2016 at the death, won by Warwick. And George, you were out there on the balcony. You went quite crazy, quite justifiably so. How do you feel right now?
Oh, well, to watch the boys you've trained with all season long, the boys who you've seen really, really want to win this game. This is the one that the entire squad wanted to win. And to see them go out and win there in such a dramatic fashion.
That's quite some in that game.
You feel they earned, in a way that you really feel that the boys went out there and absolutely grafted for. It's such a great feeling to see.
And really, what a special way to end Varsity. It's been an absolute battle, but could you think of a better way to cap it off?
No, our 50-point win would have been lovely.
Well, that would be nice.
But no, I think the boys truly earned their stripes out there today.
Well, you can't have everything, and now we're going to hand over to our touchline reporter Henry, who has an interview with Isaac Lieschi, president, and I'm sure a very, very happy and relieved sports officer Alex Roberts.
We're live now with Isaac Lee, the president of the Warwick Students' Union. Isaac, what a finish that was.
Absolutely unbelievable, absolutely incredible game. Coventry leading for most of it, but we all knew Warwick were going to pull it out of the bag in the end.
How happy are you? Another Varsity, another win.
I'm absolutely ecstatic, honestly. I was jumping around. It was absolutely amazing game, and another Varsity win. Honestly, make it first teams only, but it's still the same result.
Now, Isaac, just a quick question. How many Varsities have Coventry ever won?
They haven't ever won it, never won Varsity.
Never in 26 years?
Not once.
And will they win it in 26 years' time?
Not a chance, not a chance.
Thank you very much, Isaac Lee.
Absolutely, Henry, thank you very much. And we've just been joined now by Rob Starman, who was co-commentator for that game. And Rob, you must be quite on edge right now. What an ending to that game.
Oh, it was absolutely incredible.
Have you calmed down, right? Your heart rate's probably quite rapid at the moment.
Just about. I was getting very excited right towards the end. Couldn't believe it because we couldn't quite tell actually how long there was left. So it was sort of like, was that it? Was that over? But fantastic to get that winning try right at the end.
Absolutely.
I'm over the moon.
You can't help but feel like this Varsity up to this point has been a case of maybe not quite there for Warwick. There's been a lot of frustration, a lot of defeats in games we were hoping to win. So do you think this really puts all of that to bed and just shows that once again we are the most dominant university in this region?
Yeah, I think so. I think even though we've won it overall, you know, you lose that game, you lose a couple of the other main games we've covered, it would have been a bit of a shame. But to win that big finale, the main one, the event that's been advertised more than anything, and the game that was so important in terms of Bucks as well, being a Bucks League game, brilliant. What a way to end.
Absolutely, and that is 26 years in a row now for Warwick, and someone who I'm sure will be very proud of this university is the new Vice-Chancellor, Stuart Croft. Henry Riley has found him once again for an interview.
I'm joined here now by Stuart Croft, the Vice-Chancellor of Warwick. Stuart, we pulled it out of the bag in the end.
We did. 3 tries second half, like I told you at half-time.
You did tell us. And another Varsity win. Can Coventry ever win Varsity, Stuart?
Oh, yes. No, don't get complacent. 1 year it'll go wrong.
Now, Stuart, fantastic game that was. Did you expect us to win? It was getting late, wasn't it?
Well, I thought we were going to win until about 5 minutes to go, and I thought he was going to get away from us. He wouldn't do it. That one last effort. 15-man maul to get it over the line. Fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic. You heard it here from the man himself. I've been live with Stuart Croft.
Stuart Croft there on Warwick TV, interview with Henry Riley, and really a moment for all of Warwick Uni to savour, I think, and we're just waiting for confirmation on the final score in Varsity. It was a bit closer than you might have hoped at the start of Varsity, but not quite as close as you would expect given how much Warwick was struggling on the Thursday and Friday, do you think then, Rob?
Yeah,
completely. I was looking back at the history. There've been a couple of close years way back, a little while back in history, but over the last couple of years, we've certainly had the upper hand. Didn't get off to the best start, but it's just got better and better. And this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, has been brilliant, and the ultimate way to top it off.
Yeah, and George, in terms of celebrations, I mean, it's a Sunday evening, so I can't imagine anything too rowdy will be occurring for the rugby team. But surely they've earned the right to let their hair down a bit now.
I think I think we'll do something fun tonight. I think we'll have something fun. But also, I think this game was a beautiful sort of objectification of sort of what's happened this varsity, sort of a bit too close for comfort, but we still come out on top. So I thought that was great.
Absolutely. And what are we thinking about Varsity next year then? Will it be a similar level of closeness and competitivity, or maybe an even bigger landslide victory for Warwick?
Well, if Coventry keep improving in the way they have done, then I can see it becoming closer and closer. We've won 26 years in a row now, so I think that every single year Coventry are going to keep pushing, and they're going to become better and better competition for us. And obviously that's something that will be great for Warwick, but it's something that we still sort of keep in the back of our mind when we're training, when we're playing. The fact that Varsity is coming up, and it's something that we really want to win, and it's going to be something we've got to focus on.
Well, there you have it then. Varsity 2016 has come and gone. 4 days of absolute breakneck intensity, quality sporting action. There's been thrills, there's been spills, there's been shattered Coventry dreams. But at the end of the day, the one thing we can say is 26 years and still undefeated. Better luck next time, Coventry. Thanks very much for watching.
I'm Jack from Raw, and I'm supporting Warwick because I go to university here.
I'm Tim Armstrong, head of sport for Raw 12:51am and Warwick TV, and I'm Team Coventry. Warwick. Can we do that again? Like, no. And breaking away now with the ball, it's Warwick. Here's Mark Claremont, a chance to counter against Liverpool. Oh, look at that ball! Piano, eat your heart out, outside the foot technique. Here's Stuart Bryan, he's breaking. Surely, he's through. He plays it, Dre. Feed the Dre. Dre shoots. Oh! And it's Roberts! The prolific finish. He scores against his boyhood club. Oh! Rob! What a goal! What a way to leave Warwick University! Unless he stays on as sports officer, but that's not going to happen.